Is there a problem, people?
No problem at all, Mrs. Kennedy.
We were just discussing ideas of what to do with the new Prince Eric movie.
Put a chick in it, make her gay!
Yes, Miss Kennedy, some of the execs are just expressing that maybe...
Well, that maybe we should go a different route than we did with Indiana Jones.
Fuck Indiana Jones, put a chick in it and make her name it gay!
Black girl magic!
You get to the fun part?
Yeah. It's going to be more, of course, a lot of blood, violence, guns involved as well. And it's very gritty. And it's a different feel compared to what the other MCU stuff that we've seen.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Now, what they've got here is a scrotum and nothing else.
I learned a long time ago that there's no sense getting all riled up every time a bunch of idiots give you a hard time. In the end, the universe tends to unfold as it should. Plus, I have a really large penis. That keeps me happy.
Vagina.
I hate it when the T isn't centered right on my crooked nose. Hey, everybody! I'm super late. Sorry. I had to run across town to get coffee. It's my mistake. There's a Doomsday teaser? Really? Chat, I'm going to believe you. Don't you be lying to me. X-Ray Girl, could you check that out? Yes. Yes. Didn't even have time for a title. So we're going to be talking about superhero stuff, the future of the superhero, rumors of Chris Evans, if there's a Doomsday trailer or not. Well, there's 4 coming up, Supergirl trailer, and superhero fatigue and stuff like that. And the passing of a great director in the most tragic of circumstances. We're going to talk about that. It's a hoax. Yeah, I figured. Just real quick, I don't think they're going to be showing jack squat of Doomsday trailer online, and I think they might start a new trend of just showing trailers in the theater to get people into theaters. That would probably be smart, to be honest with you. And then release it, like after the weekend. I mean, anything to get people in. It's weird that they. I know there's an argument that Avatar might Like they're worried that Avatar might not perform well, so they're trying to get people to watch it. But I think the flip side of that is everybody's going to be watching Avatar and you want them to see your trailers. So it makes sense to put Odyssey and all that stuff. I would be utterly shocked if Avatar underperformed. Not saying it couldn't happen, but I'd be shocked. Don't underestimate like the power of the laser pointer to the normie cats. Just don't underestimate that. Good morning, everybody. I'll get to you guys in just a second. First, we got to take care of a little bit of business because I'm way behind on my ad reads. It's a leaked video. Yeah, I can't react to that. I can maybe watch it. I mean, and not share it. If you can find that, that's cool. That's no fun, but here we'll go. We're going to do, stop it, phone. Stop it. So we'll start with PDS debt. Because, man, throughout my life, I have been in some debt. And you guys know the story. It's in the book, Bankruptcy, which was horrific. But what was more horrific was like the stress leading up to it and the constant underlying stress that it put on my life and the anxiety, which isn't healthy at all, isn't good for you at all. But you know, that's the way debt is, though. They want to make you feel scared and they want you to be anxious. No matter how you got into it. Now, mine was complete irresponsibility, but some people get into debt because they need to live, you know. That's part of the game. But there is a solution out there. It's PDS debt. It starts with one missed bill, then another. Now it's calls you ignore, envelopes you don't open, pressure that doesn't let up. Debt doesn't knock, it kicks down the door. PDS debt helps you fight back. They've helped hundreds of thousands break free. This is your shot. Take it before debt takes everything. PDS debt goes beyond the numbers to understand your unique financial situation and craft a personalized plan designed just for you, whether you're struggling with credit cards, personal loans, collections, or medical bills. PDS debt understands your specific scenario and will help provide alternative solutions to becoming debt-free. There's no minimum credit score required. They're here to help you save more, pay off your debt faster, and start putting money back where it belongs, in your pocket. PDS debt is an A+ rated business by the Better Business Bureau, boasts thousands of 5-star reviews on Google, and holds a 5-star rating on Trustpilot. Why? Because PDS debt has helped hundreds of thousands of people get out of debt. If I needed this product, it's what I'd use. You're 30 seconds away from being debt-free. Get your free assessment and find the best option for you right now at pdsdebt.com. pdsdebt.com/nerdrotic. That's pds.com/nerdrotic. Thank you very much. Thank you. Let's get to you guys. Let's see who's here. My goodness. Eric's here. Eric the mod. What up, brother? Andrea Susie. Why did I say Andre? Because I'm dumb. Noons, you should read my ads. You want to read my ads, Noons? I'll take you up on that. I will take you up on that. X-Ray Girl, put a pin in that. We'll have Noons read the ads. Everybody will be thankful. Everybody will be thankful. Coleman Black, what's up? The Antichrist. That's a good name. Hunter. Woogie Beautiful. Man, what is that name? Okay. Hey, chat. She said she'd do it. There you go. It might go faster. Yeah, but it will. Words will be pronounced correctly. And I think people would actually listen to Noon's voice more than mine. She has a lovely British accent. She's all right. PDS debt. No, she doesn't. That's not her accent, but Let noons cook. That's right. That's right. Snake Oil, what's up? Master Austin, how's it going? Psychotic Mongoose, hello. Gus Gus, hello. Dragon Bait. Master Austin, hail to you, sir. Voraxelon, what's up, Voraxelon? Been around for a minute, Voraxelon. The lovely Sherry. Man, look at the 9% showing up today. We got like girls in here, guys. Behave yourselves. What is it? Pazuzu. I kind of said that right. Dr. Dries, Jesus, or Jesus. Either way. Mr. Shenanigans. We got Roger of Borg over on Rumble. What up, Rumble? How's it going? Oh, hi, X-Ray Girl. Blue-Eyed Scorpio, you need a girlfriend? You don't like girls. What are you talking about? I mean, I like you know, as friends. I'm just kidding. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Should we start off with the depressing news? I guess. Hang on. I'm going to cough. Last night, yesterday afternoon, you guys all heard the news. Rob Reiner, prolific director, meathead from All in the Family, was brutally murdered in his home with his wife. Their throats were slashed. It's pretty effing, and then like that's on top of the shooting at Is it Bondi Beach? I want to say Bondi, but it's Bondi Beach. The targeting of Jews on Bondi Beach on Hanukkah. 15 people dead, 10-year-old girl. Cops very slow to respond. A citizen had to disarm one of them. It's just fucking tragic. So, yes, Rob Reiner's wife, brutally murdered in their home. And I have not checked in the last hour. I know their middle son, Nick, who a movie was based on called Being Charlie, is the suspect. If that's changed, please correct me in the chat. Oh, we'll get to the DEI Aussie cops. We'll get there. But I don't know if that's changed or not. I don't want to. I'll just say last night when I saw he was the suspect. He has famously had a history of addiction problems, homelessness, and I'm going to tell you right now, this is not the first time. It's not the first time Hollywood's heard this story. As a matter of fact, the actor who played Tarzan and Doc Savage, his son killed his mom just a few years ago. But it's like, I can't tell you how many times I've heard this story in meetings. It's not just a couple of times, it's countless. Now, they didn't all end up in murder, but sons, daughters attacking their parents who are suffering from addiction happens more than you want to know. It's everything about it is horrific. I'm not going to make a ton of judgments about their kid. I'm just going to say I saw interviews with him last night, and boy didn't look right. Let's just be real. Beyond addiction, that boy didn't look right. But addiction is evil, and while and I've talked about this before, it is a disease. It is a mental brain disease, but it's a disease that requires a conscious decision. So it's not something that any addict can say, well, it wasn't me, it was the disease. It's still you. It's still you. The disease portion is right up there with like OCD. It's some people can drink a half a beer and leave it at the bar and walk away and not even think about it. That's a person who's not an addict. An addict We'll drink that beer, ask you if you're going to finish your, and then think about that next one constantly. It's an obsession. But often, more than often, 100% of the time, alcohol and drugs are but a symptom of a much larger problem. Much larger problem. What that problem is with the kid, don't know. Not going to get into it. I know there's certainly stuff going around online, but there's absolutely no proof. Absolutely no proof of that. So, I've heard this story a lot, but point I'm getting to is while you're high and just in the thralls of addiction, it's not just high. I mean, we're talking strung out, probably been high 30 days in a row. You know, an addict is capable of doing insane shit that if they were sober the next day, they would be horrified. They would be horrified. Now, does that separate them from their behavior while they're high? No. You're still like aware. I'm still aware of what I'm doing, completely aware. But what it does is it lowers inhibitions, it destroys judgment. And think of addiction is, that's why vampires are really good for addiction, like a good analogy for addiction. Constantly having to feed. You wake up in the morning, you need to feed. You need drugs. That's the priority of your day. You can't go to work unless you're high. You can't go to a freaking movie with your kid unless you're high. Like nothing happens unless you're high. You have to feed. And the beast must be fed all the time. And that takes the priority. And then it leads to, of course, your judgment's bad. You're not sleeping. You're high all the time. Your brain's fucked. And it leads you to do insanely evil things sometimes. And I'm just guessing. There might have been a lot of resentment. Who knows? Nepo baby, rich kid, tons of privilege. But the problem is, and I was discussing this with another person who's famous last night, and that person's like, I would never raise my kids in Hollywood. And if you really think about it, this person said, I can't say exactly, but like they made a conscious decision, like there's no way in hell I'm going to raise my kids in Beverly Hills. That must be like the worst place to grow up. And if, you think about, well, you're rich, but yeah, it warps your children. Look, how many well-adjusted kids come out of Hollywood, period. It's a very, very small percentage. That town eats children. Metaphorically. But it eats children. And I wouldn't raise your kids around there. And this is a very wise, famous person who said, nope. As a matter of fact, I'm not even going to be in that effing state. And it's like, smart move. And by all accounts, really good, normal kids. But the tragedy of this is it could be addiction. Maybe he's just insane. Maybe something else happened. We don't know. Again, there's already people throwing it out there on Twitter. I'm not gonna. No thanks. Rob Reiner was a great director. Like that guy had a run in the 80s. That was, if Steven Spielberg wasn't around, they would call it a Reiner run instead of a Spielbergian run. It was pretty incredible. His diversity of talent, and politically, like, which everybody's going to bring up. I've never agreed with the guy, like, ever. And he's always been like that. He's always been your classical Hollywood liberal, right? Loved his dad too, Carl Reiner. And he's a Nepo baby too. Was. But yeah, going out like that at the hands of your own son, that's worst nightmare shit. It's, yeah, watching that and what happened on Bondi Beach, grim day. No other words. What's going to be more grim is the reaction. So we saw the reaction to Charlie Kirk's murder, and I'm already starting to not as much. Believe me, not as much. But I am seeing a couple people like are a good riddance and fuck him. And it's like you could be Ryan talked about it earlier. You could be indifferent. Indifference is fine. Indifference is fine. Celebration is inhuman. You certainly don't have to be all torn up at his passing. I'm more like thinking about the addiction. Have they even caught him? Yeah, his son is a suspect. Have they even caught him yet? And again, if you don't know, Rob Reiner did a movie that was co-written by his son about his addiction called Being Charlie. They did catch him. Okay. Nick is arrested. He is in custody. Is that recent or did they get him last night? The chat's helping me out here for those of you who will be listening to this later. Addiction isn't a disease. That's ridiculous. It actually is. But again, it requires some explanation because I think what people it's like it's a mental disease. Okay. So what people rush to is like, and I have to constantly explain this, but I have no problem doing it, is when they hear addiction's disease, it's like, oh, you're not taking any responsibility for your problems. That's not the kind of disease. It's not like cancer. All right. So it's a disease, but we're not calling it a disease like cancer, something you don't have any choice in. It is a disease that requires a conscious decision. Then you are still fully responsible for all of your behavior. But it's a disease. It's a mental disease. It's like OCD. Obsessive compulsive. It's a brain chemistry thing. Bro, I fucking wish I could just, fucking spark a joint and not think about it or drink half a beer. But here's the sense it's a disease, my brother. If I went out and just said, fuck it, one night, I like alcohol, for instance. Never been a big fan of alcohol. The only time I ever got drunk is as a backup to get high. Like if I ran out of drugs and I had nothing else, I just got some booze. But if I'm like, hey, fuck it, I don't like alcohol that much. I'll just drink this one night. There is 100% chance I will be knee deep in blow with my wife hunting me down to kill me in Vegas. All of my money will be spent and I will be looking for meth and heroin within a week. That ain't normal. So when I relapsed hard, there's a thing called, it's not only a disease, it's a progressive disease. And what is a progressive disease? No, not the disease of progressivism. That's a different thing. It's a progressive disease. So the addiction continues to grow even if you are sober. And you're going, what the hell are you talking about? What are you talking about, crazy man? The addiction progresses as if you were still doing drugs, even if you're sober. What do I mean? Okay. I jumped back into it after years and years of being sober. And within a very short amount of time, under a week, remember, haven't done any speed at this point for, God, I was sober longer than I got now. We're talking like 15 years. So I went from doing a little bump about this big. Within a week, I'm doing rails this big. Enough to kill a fucking horse. That's the progressiveness. It caught right back up to where it left off. Not as it left off, but if it kept going that whole 15 years. It's a progressive disease. But if you don't want to believe it's a disease, that's fine. It's no skin off my back. I mean, I can't tell you how many times, and like this is just part of life. I've accepted it, and it's like really, this is said with no judgment, but like, why don't you just quit? Why don't you just stop? You're not tough enough. You lack the mental fortitude. I'm like, maybe, but it's different for addicts, and they don't get a ton of sympathy. They really don't. And you know what? The behavior, they don't really deserve any. That's the thing, is you can whine and moan about being an addict all you want in the meetings and all that. It's like, we don't deserve sympathy. Why do we deserve sympathy? You know, maybe from our moms and dads, but from like the world, from the general public, well, look at how we're acting, you know, like, come on. But you want to encourage people to recover. That's the part you want to encourage. If you are so inclined. But people don't understand addicts. It's like, hey, it's not their fucking job. It's our job to get sober. It's our job to get sober. It's not my and for the rest of my fucking life, I'm gonna hear because I'm open about it. I mean, you know, I'm here. I'm a felon and meth head. And it's like, yep, I definitely was, for sure. And you just don't let that stuff bother you. You can't. You can't expect everybody to understand, and especially, and you work through that in recovery. Believe me, when you're doing your amends, and you know, you try to call somebody or write them a letter, and they just tell you to fuck off in the most eloquent ways, and you go, "Yep, I should fuck off." Yep, I deserve that. I deserved that. But Rob Reiner did not deserve that. I don't care. I agree with Chrissy. Having to preface this with, I don't like his I don't expect many people to like his politics. He's a fucking Hollywood liberal, or was. But at least he showed sympathy towards Charlie Kirk's death and did not celebrate it. Actually did quite the opposite and told people and condemned people who were celebrating it. So that, I mean, that's the kind of decent person you want. You don't have to, you know, agree with people's fucking politics. We don't want to be like them. I don't want to be like them anyway. All right, let's talk about some fun stuff. In a dark world today. No, okay, real quick. I promise to talk about DEI. This isn't fun stuff. We're not to the fun stuff yet. DEI. Oh, DEI. Many people were saying this is dangerous. What we're seeing in entertainment and everything else is going to start creeping into the real world and become socially accepted because they pushed it through things like entertainment first, and it will eventually cost lives. And I think it's countless now. I think over the last 3 years, we have lost countless lives because of DEI, because of white guilt, because of liberal fucktards who have never grown up around a black person, making decisions for a lot of us that are forcing in people who do not have the talent, the wherewithal, or in the case of a female, the strength to protect people. We were talking about this with firefighters. Somebody asked me, do I think women can be firefighters? And I'm like, well, in the sense of like running into a house and climbing up a ladder and getting a kid? No. The answer is a flat fucking no. They don't have the upper body strength. I don't care how big that bull dyke is. She does not have the upper body strength of me. For average 56-year-old man. I am stronger than 99.9% of them because of nature. That's just the fact. So no. Should you be sending little 5'2" female cops to a fucking shooting on a beach? No. You shouldn't be sending little 5'2" men either. But it's way worse when you're sending a bunch of 5'2" women to a fucking shooting and like it's cosplay police. You're sending cosplay fucking police. You saying, dude. And that's not always going to work too. Remember Uvalde. But you have a better chance. So that's that, it's tragic, but the amount of time that took, was everybody should be fired, and they're not going to be, because we already heard the Australian politicians going, we need to first and foremost, we need to stay away from misinformation. Disinformation and misinformation. Remember, we love our Muslims. Oh, they're so good. Oh, they're so sweet. That's the first thing. Fucking the governor of whatever. That's the first thing that, was it a girl? Maybe it was a trans dude. I don't fucking know what the hell's going on. Your country used to be badass. What's wrong with you, Australia? But yeah. Little cosplay women cops get people killed. That hurts somebody's feelings. I could care fucking less. There was a 5'2" Officer Babcock. Anybody from Encinitas back in the old days remember Officer Babcock? Yeah, she tried to cuff me. I knocked her on her fucking ass. And it was pretty easy because she was 5'2". I was like 17, high as fucking, in shape. And the thing is, if you worry about police shootings, they're the most likely to start fucking pulling out their gun and shooting people because they're so tiny and they feel threatened all the time. Yeah. Babcock tried to, maybe I'll make this a little side story in the book. It was they were doing fucking curfew sweeps. You don't know how good you have it now, kids. So we had a thing called curfew. So anybody under 18 could not be out past 10 p.m., even on Friday, not be out in public, or you would get arrested, taken to jail, and your parents would get called. So we all hung out at a arcade called Pinball Plus outside of the AMC 8 movie theater. And it was the only place we had nowhere to fucking hang. There is nothing to do in Encinitas, California in 1986. Zero, except for lots of drugs and that fucking one arcade. So we all hung out there, skateboarding, doing our shit. 10 o'clock hits. Here comes the fucking paddy wagon. Like right at 10. They don't even give us any chance to leave. And it was to send a message, right? So Babcock comes and I'm like laughing at all this, right? Because I'm going to run. I'm just going to there's 4 cops here. There's 20 of us. And the kids are all like I'm like, let's just fucking run. They can't catch all of us. And if they catch one of us, so what? They're just going to call our parents. They're calling our parents anyway. My parents aren't going to want to come pick me up. That's the thing. It's like, I'll be stuck there because my dad won't fucking come pick me up. Are you kidding me? So nobody moves. I'm sitting there, come on, let's leave. So she tries to cuff me. I'm like, get the fuck off me, bitch. And I fucking pushed her and I just fucking ran. And it didn't cross my mind that she might shoot me because that's probably what I should have thought about, but I didn't. I'm lucky I didn't get, they also didn't press charges later on when I got caught. They didn't press charges for assaulting a police officer, which I definitely did. I knocked her on, Officer Babcock, she was as wide as she is tall. She put the Ike and Dyke. I don't know if that makes sense. Uh, 4x4. Officer Humpty Dumpty. 5x5. There you go. More like Fabcock. I wonder if she's still around. I wonder if she's still around. Why is sorry. Hang on. Hang on. Just a moment. Okay. I was getting a call from my bank. I'm like, tell my wife to call them. I'm streaming. Or maybe she could play James Gunn's Penguin. Maybe. Maybe, Perry. I'm surprised James Gunn hasn't announced. Now we're going to get into the fun stuff. I'm surprised James Gunn hasn't announced Batman. Like the way things have been going, either he is blissfully unaware because he's in such a bubble and he only talks to people like Eric Voss about stuff that he thinks, man, I'm totally a success right now. As I said in my video, I'm not going to sit here and tell you like Superman's James Gunn flopped. I don't know. I think the amount of money they made, it's enough to make it questionable. What it wasn't was a hit. It wasn't a hit. And I'll say it wasn't a flop. I'll be nice. Now, it might have been, because in the technical term of a flop, it's a film that does not recoup its money in the theater. So if they got it on VOD and the merchandising, I don't really care. But I think we can all agree that it was not the runaway success they had hoped it would be. It's been a very divisive film. I think made more divisive by James Gunn. And in an interesting twist, just like with the Snyder Bros, it's more divisive because of the people defending it. Like it's their mom. But whatever. So, and then I'm hearing crazy shit. Like, okay, let's flip it around. I know some people said, I don't think it's a big deal that the CG crypto pissed on Clark's face. I'm talking about content creators here. So if they brought like the Tauntaun back and the Tauntaun like pissed on fucking Harrison Ford's face, those people will be criticizing the fuck out of it right now. It's just a fact. That's just a fact. Supergirl trailer, we went over it, and a lot of people were correctly pointing out, well, this was not directed by James Gunn. And my retort is, but it looks like it was. It looks like exactly like it was. It's the same color palette. It's the same style of shooting. It's the same aesthetic. It's the same directing. Might as well have been directed by James Gunn. Who's also in charge of the studio. So by pointing out that it's not directed by James Gunn does not help, because it looks like it was. And we're not seeing anything different. The DC looks no different than Marvel at all. They look like they could exist in current Marvel. That looks like they can exist in the same universe. Superman is shot exactly like the Suicide Squad, which was shot exactly like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. That looks exactly like Superman. Supergirl. Exactly like Supergirl. Now, is Superman and Supergirl and are they the worst things ever? Well, I don't know. I haven't seen Supergirl. Maybe it's better than Superman. I have no fucking idea. I don't think it's going to do well. I don't think it's going to do well. I know. Campias thinks it's going to make $1 billion. Maybe it does. What do I know? I'm guessing no, though. I would bet heavily against that. If I was a gambling man, I'd bet heavily against that. But I'm not. I mean, Spider-Man Brand New Day is probably going to be the best superhero movie next year. And I think it's going to be the best superhero movie by far, even though it's not being directed by, I'm blanking on his name, the guy who directed the last three. It's being directed by the Shang-Chi director. Shang-Chi. But maybe, you know what? I'm going to give him a chance because he's not saddled with fucking Simu Liu as his star. You know, maybe the guy is a good director and he just fucking picked a bad card, got dealt a bad hand with Simu Liu. Maybe he's a good guy. Maybe he makes a good Spider-Man movie, and I hope he does. I hope all these fucking movies are good. I do. But the fact of the matter is, this year, no superhero movie crossed $650 million worldwide, much less $7 or $1 billion. Their profitability, all of the films, including Superman, at the very least, you could say their profitability is in question. Unquestionable flops were Captain African American, Thunderbolts, and I think you could put a little doubt in it, but Fantastic Four flopped. The thing is, Fantastic Four, considered a flop, only made 70 million less than, maybe less than that. What was San Francisco? What was Fantastic Four? First steps box office. 521. So okay. And it was like 614. So it's like 100 million difference. And I guess 100 million is the difference between a massive success and a flop. 100 million. Interesting. Fantastic Four had a more cohesive story that you could follow than Superman. But Fantastic Four also had the female Silver Surfer. So fuck that. Fuck that. Galactus looked great. They cucked him. Vanessa Kirby, good Invisible Girl. Made her girl bossy at the end. Female Silver Surfer and Vanessa Kirby, Invisible Woman, defeat Galactus, and the boys just kind of stood back. I like the look of the thing. It looked fantastic. Like that's what the thing is supposed to look like. Wish they could have worked with the voice a little bit, but I'm down with the look. Didn't mind Johnny Storm. It's fine. Pedro Pascal sucks as Reed Richards. Like little Herbie, the little parts of Herbie that they had. I like that too. I like the aesthetic. There was something to work with there, but at least I fucking knew where I was and where I was going in that movie. I cannot say that about Superman. I cannot say there's anything distinctive about Metropolis or the DCU or any of the world building or where we are, where we're going. No idea. No idea. And then, of course, there is Doomsday coming up, which if you look at that cast outside of Robert Downey Jr., it's not super inspiring. So the whole point is next year, we are going to get two movies that are pretty much guaranteed to hit $1 billion, and neither of them will be Supergirl. The budget of Supergirl is reported to be $200 million just for production. I would guess $100 million you throw on top of that for marketing. So it would have to make what? $700 million to break even. 650 to break even. It would have to make what Superman didn't make. I will repeat that. Supergirl will have to make what Superman failed to make to break even. Because according to Warner Brothers, their budgets aren't far off from each other. Going off the Warner Brothers numbers, not the numbers that were reported earlier and the numbers we really think it is. But yeah. We'll see. And then there's our are you guys interested in seeing? Hi, Paulie, if you're out there. What's up, brother? If you guys are interested in seeing superhero movies. Are you interested in even watching them at this point? And this brings up the dreaded superhero fatigue. Is it bad movie fatigue? Is it superhero fatigue? Yes. Can't have one without the other. Because I think an argument could be made that if Aquaman made $1 billion fucking dollars in 2018, if some butts were candy and nuts, we'd all have a merry fucking Christmas. But if you released Superman or Fantastic Four a few years ago, would it have made more money? Maybe. There's a lot of variables that you have to think about. But the reason they didn't make as much money is A, they were not great movies, and B, what has come before. The degradation of what has come before definitely plays a part. I can reverse that and say, would Wakanda Forever make $700 or $800 million if it were released this year? The answer is no. Fuck no. Not even close. Would Thor Love and Thunder make $700+ million if it was released this year? No. But the problem is they were the problem. It was those movies that they overperformed. They were overperforming shitty movies. Doctor Strange Mom was an overperforming shitty movie. Thor Love and Thunder was an overperforming shitty movie. I would love for any of these to be good, by the way. Gore the God Butcher is a fucking great villain that they completely nerfed. Muse is a great villain in Daredevil that they completely nerfed. So just bringing them back going, listen, they brought somebody back from the comics. Yeah, but they don't act, look, or sound like they did in those comic books. Gore the God Butcher was killing gods. Muse was painting murals with the blood of his victims and could not be seen by Daredevil. Like a fucking great foil. What a great villain. Completely fucked him up. Turned him into a simp. But Gore the God Butcher in the movie, and you're right, hence the name, chat, correct. Gore the God Butcher in the movie was sad dad. Instead of angry dad, you know. What's up? So you can pull stuff from the comics all day long, but if they don't know, and they don't know what a hero is. And the reason they made Thor a bumbling idiot is because he's a white male. And this is part of the MCU. It wasn't just to introduce more female characters. It was about degrading the legacy male characters that were there to help elevate the female characters because nobody has any fucking talent to actually elevate them through character, through writing. Not that works at Marvel anymore, anyway. And they turned the Thor, who was earnest and really fucking good in Marvel's phases 1 through 2.5. We'll say 2.5. Gary, no what? 2.5. And here, let's see if so the latest rumor. I'm just is it? Do we have an article on this? I think we do. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, Thor was one of my favorite characters for sure. But I fucking watched Thor Dark World 100 times more than anything in fucking like Thor Dark World is much maligned. Go back and watch it. It's a better fucking movie than Is Thor Dark World better than Deadpool and Wolverine? I think there's a lot of people who would say yes. I've watched Dark World more. That's all I can say. Let's go to Nooner Research. So is this it? Is this okay? I'm going to look at the teaser trailer. I'm not going to show it to you. Oh, it's gone. It's gone. Find a recording. Ask Perry. Perry, see if you can find a copy of the trailer, and I'll just watch it. I'll describe it. I'll probably get in trouble for that too. So there's a rumor that, hey guys, shocking news. I hope you're all sitting down for this one. Chris Evans is going to be returning to the Avengers Doomsday. And Secret Wars. Of course he was. Everybody knew he was. So the question is, will he be Hydra Cap? Will he be Nazi Cap? I think it could happen. I think it could happen. I know. Who could have guessed Chris Evans? And then he's coming back. Everybody's come back, but not Chris Evans? Yeah, we got a new Stranger Things trailer. That's about it. Yeah, I'm waiting for King of Spies news too, chat. We're getting close. We're getting really close. That's all I'll say. More castings have been made that are really fucking good, by the way. Unbelievable cast for King of Spies. Unbelievable cast. Yeah, so the problem is, and we talked about in FNT, is if you feel the need, you have to put every superhero in every superhero film. Well, it goes to let's harken back to the quote of Syndrome from one of the greatest superhero films ever made, The Incredibles. If everybody's super, no one is. If every superhero film is some massive crisis that requires a bunch of cameos and guests, then it makes it harder to do a single superhero movie. And if you can't do a single superhero movie, then they're not healthy. They're not healthy. Because eventually you're going to have to bring this thing back down to the ground. You're going to have to, you've ranched it up. You've done all these events, and they wasted the last 3 years. This thing could have gone forever, but they wasted the last 3 years. And they did try, they did do a singular super. They did Shang-Chi. Yeah. Male superhero surrounded by 3 women. Black Widow, male solo superhero surrounded by 3 women. Moon Knight, male superhero, solo superhero led around the nose by 1 woman. So they changed the formula a little bit. Hawkeye, well, it was actually about girl Hawkeye, where Hawkeye gets his ass kicked by Echo and Yelena. The thing is, I mean, it's chicken and the egg, right? Like there's people who are always in the normies are not into superheroes as much as they were. So there is superhero fatigue with normies. With us fans, there never will be. But I'm ready for something different. I'm ready for something new, but it's not just girl bossy fatigue. It is intersectional feminism fatigue, woke Hollywood fatigue, bad Hollywood fatigue, slop fatigue, girl bossy fatigue, James Gunn fatigue, Kevin Feige fatigue, Feige fatiguey, fatiguey Feige. But that does, Andrea, that does like contribute to the overall malaise of everything. But like I said in my video, like Spider-Man and Batman movies will always be able to made. They can always make those till the end of time. They will be popular. But like big team events and stuff, I would say just stop and go back to solo, make the budget smaller, make them interesting, and have them grow up a little bit. So Blade should be a hyper violent rated R movie. Black Widow, if you did a solo Black Widow, should be a hyper violent rated R movie. Ghost Rider should be a horror movie. All the supernatural Marvel stuff should like lean to horror. I mean, didn't the director of Doctor Strange, he wanted to do a horror movie for the second one. They said no. That would have been interesting. Oh well. So for long-term for longevity, it's not looking good for superhero films. We saw that Lanterns clip. That was like the one project from DCU I was actually like kind of looking forward to. No, not crazy about like, hey, let's have this cosmic police force and we'll bring it down to earth and ground it and call it True Detective. But I like the casting. Everything about it looked kind of cool. So we'll see. Not really sure why that isn't a movie. Not really sure why Green Lanterns isn't your movie. Like Supergirl over Green Lanterns. Oh, and they can't use green for some reason. They have to call it Lanterns because it's on HBO. And green would be silly. A show about a guy whose superpowers are brought on with willpower, and he can make mallets and silly stuff out of his fucking ring. Calling him green would be, we draw the line there. Yeah, just call it the Green Lantern Corps. Yes. It's a much better title than Lanterns. Oops. Good thing it was water. Good thing that was water. Party foul. Green is derogatory. Well, as my same argument for Arrow, too. If you remember early days on this channel, I was like, I fucking hate that they call it Arrow and not Green Arrow. I'll try not to pull an as on my keyboard. I'll try. So, yeah, I don't know if any legit place has the rumor, but so I was told by my guy. We talked about it. Me and Chris both talked about it. Chris Evans is definitely coming back. He's always was coming back. They're just keeping a lid on it until last minute. Like he was always coming back. Just kind of thought people assumed that. Is this it? Am I going to see it? Okay, now I'm going to watch it while it's still up, and I'll give you a play-by-play. There we go. All right, we got a piano. Do 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 do. Somebody's hitting the kickstand on a motorcycle. They're putting their helmet, and it is going to be Steve Rogers. I mean, they're not showing it yet, but it's pretty obvious it's going to be Steve Rogers. It's just a lot of like, yep, Steve Rogers and a baby. So he pulled up to a house. He hit the kickstand. He's got a baby in his hands. I guarantee you it's a daughter. He will not have a son. 100% it's a daughter. It says Steve Rogers will be in Avengers Doomsday. December 2026. And then there's some TikToking. So that is your first Doomsday trailer. Hope you enjoyed my play-by-play. I know I'm a fucking professional. But yeah, it was Chris Evans walking up to a house and looking at his baby. With the piano going do boo ba do da da da, because it's so dramatic. Because we're gonna all of a sudden start getting earnest and serious now with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But yeah, good move. Bring back Chris Evans. You know what? White boy summer. Well, it'll be white boy Christmas on this one, but like you need the white boys again. You're bringing back Spider-Man. You're bringing back Captain America. Oh, by the way, who's Captain America? Let's hear it. Let's fucking hear it, chat. Steve Rogers. Steve Rogers is. I've got to tweet that right now. Let's trigger people. Steve Rogers is Captain America. Captain America is Steve Rogers. Hey, Perry, record that for me, won't you, buddy? And Miles Morales is Miles Morales. Hang on a second. So yeah, I'm going to tweet Steve Rogers as Captain America, and then in about 15 minutes, I'm going to put Captain America Steve Rogers. Just we'll see if it's the same Twitter as 3 years ago, when that would just be like getting ducks to water, man. It's the thought experiment. It's the great thought experiment for Twitter. You know what? When I hit the old folks home and my kids are around me, and hopefully my grandkids get it fucking going, guys. They sit around like, what are you most proud of, Pop? And I'm granddad. I'm going to go, kids, it's when Yahoo News called me to elaborate on my Miles Morales tweet. That was kind of my favorite fucking thing ever. When the media reached out to me to ask me to clarify what Miles Morales means. Just thinking back on how fucking retarded that is. Oh, God. And that email came when I was on the road. I was fucking laughing so hard. I drove off the fucking road. Me and my wife got a good chuckle out of that one. Thanks for getting the book. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. And hello. Yeah, I don't know if Miles Morales is. You know what? The co-creator of Miles Morales is complaining about not getting paid. Now, honestly, I don't know how much creative thought goes into let's make Spider-Man black and Latino. And let's just use a derivative of the Alex Ross costume that was was it for Spider-Man 2 or a Venom design? I can't remember. But his costume is basically a rework of an Alex Ross design from the 90s. And you know what? I like his costume. That's one thing I like. That black costume. I thought that costume was rad. I loved it. Hated that they called him Spider-Man. Call him Paulie, you still in the chat? You're gonna get mad at me about my Spanish. But he's part Puerto Rican. Call him, El Hombre Araño. Or just Araño or Araña. I think it's Araño. Spider in Spanish. Just call him that. He should have been Peter Parker's never had a sidekick. He should have been Peter Parker's sidekick for a decade and a half. And then you send him off on his own. And that would have given, you should have kept Peter married to MJ. And then he has this sidekick. So he's got a wife and a sidekick to work. Creates a bunch of great problems. But you can't have Peter falling in love and doing their soapy shit. And that's why they wanted to do it. Because of the girls. I want a ship. Let's see. In Spanish. I'm checking my. It's Araña. So not Araño. Paulie's like, fuck, probably having an aneurysm. It's El Hombre Araña. Trying to get better at rolling my R's. I'm a little out of practice on my Espanol. Because I'm not in SoCal anymore. You think I should, because I'm fucking Texas is no different. As a matter of fact, I'm more south than I was in San Diego. We straight up took this place from Mexico. Took it. See more bien. ¿Dónde está el baño? Yeah, they should just call him the Black Spider. The Black Tina Spider. Texans only need to speak Texas. It's not even Texan. It's you speak Texas. That's right. So that is the Doomsday trailer. Steve Rogers is officially back, everybody. Thank God. White boy to the rescue. Let's fucking go. Everything's fine in the MCU. Everything's cool. Shang-Chi was a massive hit. The Eternals saved lives. You guys just are haters. You don't like movies. You don't like any of this stuff. Everything is cool. It's great. It's an absolute triumph. I think Thunderbolts was better than Spider-Man No Way Home. Oh, thank God Captain America's back. Weren't you just arguing with me earlier in the year that Captain African American was the next Captain America? And now you're, thank God, like within the same year, which is hilarious. Fucking hilarious. The more I think about it, the funnier it gets. Anthony Mackie. They're trying to push that he was Captain America. 8 months later, here comes Steve Rogers. You gotta love it. Yeah, John Campia. Daddy, Captain America's back. Thank you, Daddy Iger. Oh my God. Thunderbolts was a critical success. Anthony Mackie's Captain African American is leading the new Avengers. Oh, here comes Steve Rogers. Oh, they're in a heap of shit. They need to recast everybody. They need to bring back Cap, Thor, Hulk. I am completely fine with them recasting Hulk. They could recast Hulk for Spider-Man Brand New Day. That would be my preference. But yeah, you need to recast Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, Doctor Strange, everybody. You need to recast the Fantastic Four right now. Robert Downey Jr. can't continue playing Doctor Doom. So what are you going to recast him too? They're introducing the X-Men in Spider-Man Brand New Day, which makes no fucking sense, but whatever. It still sounds like it's going to be a better movie. You need to recast Black Panther. Had to do that before the sequel. Bring back Ed Norton. I'd bring back Eric Bana. I'm fine with it. Either one is fine. But everything's fine. Hey, oh yeah, I've got something. Hang on. I've got something we can share. Wow, I only got halfway through making this video. Maybe you guys will be able to hear it. I'll do this. Okay, give me a moment. Give me a moment. I got to set something up that I was not ready for. Because let's talk about Access Media. Let's talk about Access Media. Oh my God, I tweet too much. Good Lord, where'd it go? Where did it go? Oh, I know where to find it. I sent it to a bunch of people. There we go. Here it is. So, Access Media. Oh, what's it called again? New Rock Stars Danger Room Podcast. There it is. Okay. Cool. We'll listen to this first. Our boy Grizzy went over this about 4 months ago. So Eric Voss of New Rock Stars, who was invited by Leslie Headland, former personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein, to Lucasfilm with others, including Molly from Star Wars Explained, who helped retweet a post that attempted to get my channel and other channels like Drinker, Ryan, Geeks and Gamers, and Star Wars Theory deplatformed over our criticism of a TV show. Decided he had enough. Eric Voss had enough, and he's going to make a podcast to dispel the shill rumor. Totally dispel it. All right. So he created a podcast called New Rock Stars Presents The Danger Room. the danger room. So we're going to go here. And it's a sneak peek. So I'll let him speak for himself. And by the way, don't care that New Rockstars is on the platform. I think you can take whatever approach you want towards covering film or superheroes. If you want to take a celebratory tone, take a celebratory tone. I could care less. I think all opinions should be heard. All approaches is fine. The whole point of that is I don't think he should not exist on this platform. And we can get into arguments are what has been worse, toxic positivity or authenticity. Now they're going to really try to push that word now. They have rediscovered that word now. And I know what they say and think about me. And again, I could care less. But let's just hear. Let's just hear. Wait, we're going to have to get past some ads. That's right. We're going to have to get past some ads. If it wants to get going at all, which it's not doing. Hang on. Why is it not going? Ba, ba, ba. That's weird. Maybe it's because I'm on Brave. Maybe it's not working because Brave is supposed to work. Hang on. I've got something else. I've got something else. Yeah, this will work. If that's not going to work, then this will work. Give me just a moment. Let's see if I can share this. Because for some reason, that ain't working. So we'll do this. All right, here we go.
I don't hear audio.
You're not hearing any audio?
No. Oh wait, can make sure you toggle the sound when you share the window.
Oh, it's probably because hang on. That's weird. I'll try something else. Hang on. Sorry, folks. Here, I'm going to give you this link, X-Ray Girl. You're going to have to play it. Yeah, for some reason, it's not playing in Brave at all, which is lame, but whatever. Here we go. Just play that and share it. And I'll have to tell you when to stop and stuff. Thank you for your patience. Let the woman sort it out. That's right. Is it not playing for you either?
No, I have to sign in. Just a second.
I didn't have to sign. You don't have to sign in before. It should just play. I think that's a Brave thing. Here, screw it. I got it. We'll just do it on stupid ass Chrome, right? Oh, that's well, hang on. There we go. I got it. I got it. Sorry, folks. That's so strange why it's on a. I don't know why the hell it's on a different country, but it's fine. I got it. After all that. Audio is toggled. Now, can you hear this, chat?
Is here with an announcement. This episode of the podcast is brought
Yes.
to
Yes. This is the their super straight guy talking about some sponsors.
you by Google Gemini. Now listen, the girls over at Google said, Monet, tell the children, Gemini,
God.
please, to help us warm up.
Visit Maybelline.
Stars new podcast
There we
called
go.
The Couple Gold Coins, The Danger Room.
Can you
by
make the audio loud?
hosts
Yes.
of New Rock.
Tip. And the lightweight
I'm
bamboo.
getting there. Boom. And boom. Here we go. So again, big long setup for not much, but
Infused formula makes lashes feel weightless.
oh my
now
God.
in 8 bold shades, so you can take your lashes to new heights
There you go,
every day.
girls. All 9%
Visit
of you.
Maybelline.com to shop Sky High Mascara now.
Are the hosts of New Rock Stars shills for studios like Disney, Warner Brothers, Universal, Amazon, Sony, Netflix? Or are they even capable of applying their own independent, unbiased perspectives to the reviews and breakdowns and analyses they do of things? Are we in the pocket of the mouse? To me, my rock stars! Welcome to New Rock Stars' new podcast called The Danger Room. I am host and head of content of New Rockstars, Eric Voss, here with New Rockstars head of production, John Costa. Welcome, John.
Just peeking my little head out of the pocket of the mouse to do this podcast.
Yeah, John just spit out.
They're not shills. Except we're making an entire podcast to talk about how we're not shills, but that's not all. It gets funnier. Hang on.
A couple gold coins like Scrooge McDuck over there.
That.
Oh,
This is a lightly edited show. I don't think we're going to have coin sound effects coming in.
Here, I'll
So
spare
what
all.
you are listening to right now is a new audio-only podcast called The Danger Room. There is no video footage of this that exists. We do not want you to see where we are. It is so secretive. Why? Because it is in a dark corner of the New Rockstars network called New Rockstars Underground. New Rockstars Underground is a new...
I'm sorry. I just want to apologize to all of you for having to hear this. But if you've been around the channel for a few years, you might remember I made a Captain Marvel video back in 2019. And I used to listen to a lot of nerd podcasts back then. And I was listening to one from Syfy, formerly the Sci-Fi Network, but then they rebranded to Syfy. And I caught a guy, basically, he was talking about shills, and he's all, listen, we have to throw softballs. We have to. It's part of the game. So he just completely admits that he shills. And this was years ago, years and years and years ago. So now we have a dedicated podcast to I am not a shill. And we'll get to hear their arguments, and I will respond.
Audio-only subscription service that we're offering to our viewers. That is a paid service. So what you're listening to right now, we are also making it free to all of our viewers publicly on all of our podcast feeds. So you can just hear this now without having to buy into it. But if you want to hear future episodes of it, we're going to be asking for a small monthly fee of $5 a month. That might not.
So we're going to make I'm not a shill podcast and put it behind a paywall. You can't make this shit up. First one's free, though, kids. I'm sure this will entice you all to go ahead, subscribe if you want to throw them $5.
Not be small for all of you. We recognize that. And we understand that this is kind of a new thing that we're trying out here. And that's why
honesty. Let's see how it works out for him.
The conversations that you're going to be hearing in the Danger Room is the kind of stuff that we would never talk about on YouTube for many reasons. One, a lot of this stuff is just kind of like personal, indulgent, kind of whiny soapbox stuff that like we don't want to bore everyone on YouTube with. It's the stuff.
So we want to make you pay for the whiny soapbox stuff that's boring.
that the YouTube algorithm doesn't really know what to do with. It's maybe too personality content. It's stuff that like we're a little nervous putting publicly out on YouTube, where any of our enemies are going to take us out of context and try to like edit us to say things that we're not actually saying. We feel a little bit more comfortable.
I'm going to let you say everything you want. Not going to take anything out of context here, boys.
Having those conversations in a audio only intimate podcast environment.
Faster. Should I do it faster? I don't know.
But we also understand that like we can't, this is our jobs here at New Rockstars, and we can't spend all of our time talking about this stuff because we are on the clock. And the only way it makes sense to be able to put this out in a podcast format is if we do it this way as through a paid service that you have to sign up for.
You couldn't just like go on a solo channel and just do it? Because they're on the clock, guys. But they're real. They're the real ones. And we and you in the chat are all toxic fans that hate movies. You hate all this stuff.
But it is an experiment, and if it doesn't work out, we don't have to keep doing it, But we do want to try it because we do have some like fun conversations that we think people will be into. John and I are going to talk about what it means to be accused of being a shill and what that even means. You're going to hear Brandon and Zach in future episodes talk about things like what it means to have an OnlyFans if you're a producer of Marvel content and whether that's okay. Also, yeah, I can't wait for that.
Photo mail.
One. Their thoughts on wrestling, the thoughts on the movie going experience. John and I are going to talk about AI and how that affects the job as a YouTuber. John, I've been talking for a while. Anything else you want to say about what we're trying to do here with Underground?
I'm just so excited. For a long time, people have been asking us to cover this, that, or the other thing, and it hasn't made sense for us to do it. And this is where we're going to try to tackle those conversations. So if you guys have, questions or thoughts or.
So when we're going off script, and we want to talk about other things than what's on the approved script, then we're going to make you pay $5 to, instead of just being real.
Things that you would like for us to talk about. We're going to set up an email for you guys to be able to send in your ideas, because here's the deal. The Danger Room is the first podcast show that we're doing. But we're
breathy podcasts.
Well, we can't do the, you must remember this type of content because
too much.
We can't take deep breaths. No NPR content here.
But today, I mean, man, a topic that has surrounded us for a long time. How does the media and these big corporations integrate with one another? Obviously, we stand a lot to gain from having a good relationship with these people. But on the flip side, they also stand a lot to gain with having good relationships with us.
Do they? Everybody's saying make it stop. It won't go for much longer. But that's a question. Do the studios stand to gain anything from a New Rockstars or that guy? God, I hope I bookmarked that. That guy Ryan was clowning on FNT because he didn't realize that the Odyssey was based on a story. I mean, do they actually benefit from this? I would say save your money, studios. You don't benefit. What I have been begging for years is you don't have to listen to me. You don't have to listen to Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. You don't have to listen to Az. I'd say you probably should listen to Drinker and Mahler, but you don't have to listen to any of us. Just don't listen to them. But you have been. And this is why you're in the pickle. You are now. And this is where toxic positivity comes from, because it's just a bunch of people telling you what you want to hear so they can maintain their access. Now, they will say that they're not shills, and they will deny it with this. It's coming up. Sorry. We're going to have to get through this because I wasn't prepared to do this. Otherwise, I would have put out clips. Just kind of hit my brain.
And sometimes our relationship is good and sometimes our relationship is not so good. And my time at New Rockstars, it's kind of waxed and waned depending on where we are as a company and where some of these companies are themselves. So excited to kind of get into it. You guys get to see a peek behind the curtain in terms of like what other outlets also are probably getting access to. This is obviously just our perspective and our experiences, but I think it will go to show what other people are experiencing as well.
Yeah. So what we're referring to is this word shill. Shill is basically a term used by some of our contrarian detractors in our comments who are accusing us of being paid to write reviews, of being influenced by studios like Disney or Universal or Warner Brothers by inviting us to early screenings and paying us to write the reviews that we write that are overly positive to create a positive buzz around their movies and TV shows in order to influence people into going to see it. And when the people see those movies, they have a more negative opinion of it and realize, oh, was that person being genuine in their review? And we get this accusation a lot. We've been getting it increasingly because, in my opinion, there is now a bigger ecosystem of creators on platforms like YouTube and podcasts and TikTok who are not getting invited to screenings and events, and they have a sense of antagonism toward influencers and journalists for getting access to those events and feel like that is unfairly biasing their coverage. And so they've been able to tell their followers, hey, with me, I'm not getting invited to these things. I'm a real one. You can trust me because I'm on the outside. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be real with you. And everyone else who's not me is on the payroll. So it's created this lexicon that probably did not exist 10 years ago of accusing media outlets like Variety, Hollywood Reporter, IGN, and now New Rockstars as we've grown as being shills. Anytime I say things like, oh, I saw Thunderbolts and it was the best Marvel movie since Avengers Endgame.
That was a real conversation you and I had, by the way, on our drive home from the theater.
You know what? I believe he thinks Thunderbolts is better than No Way Home. I actually kind of believe that the way he is. But the term shill has been around for many years. It predates the internet. There was a thing called payola in the radio days where the record producers and record companies would pay DJs to play stuff more and more. I mean, it's part of it's always been part of it. To deny this is insane, but nobody has ever accused, I haven't, of these guys of getting paid cash money for doing this. Now, some critics did get caught getting paid $50 to give a positive review. I forgot what movie it was on Rotten Tomatoes. So it does happen, but no, as I've said in the past, I would respect that more. If you were getting like thousands of dollars from Disney to go out there, hey, you got bills to pay, whatever. I still wouldn't trust you and it's still a shill, but that would make more sense than what you are giving up your obvious integrity for. And it makes it very easy for people to accuse you of being dishonest when many times you are. How many times have we seen, especially with the Rings of Power, they were flown out there, they were shown the show and it was amazing. And then a year later, Nerd of the Rings, they give their honest review. So you don't do yourself any favors. As far as being, I'm not going to play the whole thing, but later on, they say that we're jealous that we don't get invited to stuff early. Well, by the way, I don't condemn everybody who sees stuff early. There's a lot of critics out there who see stuff early who are completely honest. And whether I agree with them or not, I think they're honest. There's Eric over at Forbes. I think that guy is a real one. Eric Weber, I think he feels the way he feels, but I don't think he's lying about any of it. Chris Gore gets early stuff all the time, and he's not sugarcoating anything. So it's possible to do, but they don't do it. And it's the access that's the currency. That's the currency.
And I still feel that way. Yeah. But honestly, if you're going to ask me a follow-up, what other movies have come out since Avengers Endgame? Basically, I'm saying I liked it better than Spider-Man No Way Home and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Forever, yeah. And those movies are good, but a little flawed. So I think Thunderbolts cleared that bar. That's not that a controversial thing. But what I said sounds hyperbolic and superlative in a way that other types of statements that people have accused influencers of being.
First things first, I think we should start this conversation off by saying, to my knowledge, maybe you know something I don't know, we've never been paid by a studio to do a review of a movie. Sometimes we'll get paid by a studio to like show off the bonus features of a DVD.
Yes.
Or, I don't know.
So you do get paid.
That's probably the extent of a
relationship
with them.
I think there were a grand total of 3 deals we've done with Universal Home Video. One was for Nosferatu. One was for Jordan.
So you get the point. They do get paid for certain things, but they don't. They maintain their access. And I wouldn't give a shit. But these clowns have gone out and gone after not just the channel, they've gone after you. Later on in this, because I want to spare you all of it, and I probably should have, pulled out clips, but I didn't think I was going to be doing this today. Later on, Eric Voss says, well, these people, what do you mean by these people, by the way? What do you mean? Hate film. Just hate movies. And hate superhero movies. I totally hate them. Completely. I'm caught. Oh, look. Here, let's get it in focus. Yeah, totally hate them. And this is a room surrounded by this shit. There's just different kinds of fans, and this is what has really screwed up fandom, and that's what created this space was people like this. If you went out and did your thing, like a lot of them do, you do your thing, and you might not like what we do, but it's like, hey, it's part of fandom. It's always been there. Then we don't have a problem. But when you start going after the fans or us, then I'll just respond. It's pretty easy. I wouldn't do this if I didn't love this stuff. I've loved it my entire life, and I hate what Hollywood has done to Hollywood, and in turn, our culture. And at this point, to deny that it's happening, I mean, why do you think we're getting a fucking doomsday? Why do you think James Gunn was hired for DCU? They needed to fix something fast that was going very, very badly. All stuff that you were like, Eric Voss gave The Acolyte 7 out of 10. The worst Star Wars ever made. But he's free to do that. I don't give a shit. But then we have this. After all of those denials, little short clip featuring James Gunn. Little short clip with James Gunn.
Like, to be completely honest, I really appreciate what you guys have done with the show and everything. I appreciate your shows. I think they're fun to watch, whether about my stuff or something else. This was my idea to do, a handful of people whose stuff I enjoy and say, let's give them a little bit of time, because I appreciate it. And you appreciate that.
Who was that? That's Eric Voss. I do not know if this clip is concerning Superman or Peacemaker. I think it might be from Peacemaker. Doesn't make a difference, though. My favorite part.
To be completely honest, I really appreciate it.
Is if you go to the bottom left there, you got one Miss Heather Antos. And if you know, you know. Now, the person who posted this suspected that this probably should have been edited out. Who cares? Everybody knows at this point. But when you see more confirmation, it's like, we wanted to throw you a bone. Nobody's thinking they get paid.
A little bit of time, because I appreciate it. And you appreciate that. Make this,
My gosh, thank you so much.
like, to be completely.
And if you see stuff early, that's fine. That's fine if you see stuff early. I honestly don't care about that. I have been offered stuff early. Some I've taken because let's get early on. Let's get an early run on a video, but most I haven't. Most I've turned down because I don't care enough that much. If it helps with my schedule, if I'm like traveling or something like that, and I need to get something early, okay, that'd be cool to get something early. But honestly, I don't care. I will never care. I have not applied for any critics, anything, and won't. I'm okay with seeing it with the plebs, seeing it with my fellow plebs. But we just, it was a couple weeks ago, Leslie Headland was trying to blame YouTubers for The Acolyte. And as much as I would love to have that much power, it is completely untrue. We have no sway whatsoever. The Acolyte was canceled because it sucked. It cost a lot of money and nobody watched it. That's why. One battle after another, which is going to be praised to hell, and it's going to win a lot of Academy Awards, being re-released in IMAX. You could see the Odyssey prequel before that. That movie's a piece of shit for a lot of reasons. but it's gonna win a lot of awards. And Avatar, I've never been a fan of Avatar. It's gonna make a ton of money. Yeah, FOMO is not a thing anymore. It really isn't. We don't have that communal experience, which kind of sucks. Which kind of sucks. Let's get to that trailer real quick. Oh. No. Let's do this. There we go. But the point being is fandom will be fandom. It's always been this way. It'll always be this way. There is no modern audience. The term toxic fandom was invented by the access media. Now, Eric Voss in there tries to say that shills, the term shill being applied to them was an internet thing. No, the term shill has been around for many, many years. Toxic fandom is something that was created by the access media and used as a tool to silence people. All of us, I'm sure many of you participated in the forums like I did for places like CBR, and it used to be a pretty cool place. It used to be a pretty fun place to just hang out. But then around 2014, 15, 16, moderators started coming in and getting hyper political, and then basically clearing out all of those forums for any dissenting opinions whatsoever, because it was threatening their advertising dollars. And it created this space. It created a space where, well, we got nowhere else to go to talk about this, and we want to talk about this stuff, and we will. And we did. And here we are. Here we are. Having fun, by the way. Let's take a look. I'm going to get to some soups, then we'll take a look at the new Stranger Things trailer, shall we? Chinball destroyed Doctor Who because it mocked and killed a parody of him in The Greatest Show ITG. WizKid, still bitter. He sabotaged it for everyone. And then RTD made it much worse. RTD actually made it worse. Joshua Curtis is a new member. Welcome. Welcome, sir. Baba Doom for $10. I tried to get away from listening to the news today by getting an audiobook. It's short stories. Harlan Ellison. The first story, I have no mouth and I must scream. I guess I'll listen to the news. Harlan Ellison, legend. Absolute legend. Curmudgeon. Famous curmudgeon. But I love the guy. Man, we miss him. Harlan Ellison would be ripping people to pieces during this era. It's 12 and I'm waiting for Nerdrotic while reading Nerdrotic. There you go. I'm just staying on brand. Thank you, Gus. David Smart. What's up? Hail, Gary. Doing a great job. Wish me luck for Avatar film this week. 3 hours and 15 minutes will be challenging. R.I.P. Rob Reiner. R.I.P. Yeah, it's been a good day for escapism. Again, you want to be aware. You don't want to stick your head in the sand. But I think doom scrolling over and over again, especially that shooting, really depressing, really horrific. And then you get angry when you see the response from the government. And that's on like the Australian government. That's on disarming people. And I talked about it yesterday. You're not safe. You're never safe. That is an illusion. That's an illusion the government wants you to believe so you can rely on them for protection. And then you can't protect yourself from enemies, foreign, domestic, or a tyrannical government. That's the whole point. They don't really give a shit if you're safe. And we're starting to see it creep here now. What kept a lot of people from doing crime in the past was going to jail for the rest of their lives. Now they're not, and crime's going up. It's weird how that works out. And I would love to live in some utopia, kumbaya utopia, where we could like legitimately rehabilitate people and all that bullshit. But we don't live in that fucking world. And we're nowhere near it. Hey, favorite Gary, what's up, blue-eyed Scorpio? How you doing? How you doing? Calero, it's Cole Rodriguez. Cole Rodriguez for $9.99. R.I.P. Rob Reiner. Gary, did you see Angel Studios' new Animal Farm trailer? The story is an evil capitalist corrupts and wants to take over the communist utopia. Couldn't even read a 100-page book. Yeah. That's a bet. I got to look into it. I haven't even seen the trailer. Maybe we'll watch it. But if that's the move they made, that is a bad fucking move. That is a bad move. Little Platoon has a great breakdown of Animal Farm. I go to his tweet. He can do it better than me. He's smarter than I am. But he talks about how it's written about basically it's feudalism. You know, it's like it's not capitalism, it's feudalism that's talked about, and it's from the perspective of George Orwell. So yeah, go to that tweet. It's a good tweet that sums it up nicely. Bad move. Seth Rogen voices somebody in there. Yeah, not a good move. Totally antithetical with everything that studio was trying to create. My brother, this is Jesus for Jesus. It says Jesus from Orlando, Florida. Hope to see you at MegaCon. What do you think they're doing to my favorite hero, Thor? They fuck him up. I started watching you guys since 2019. Hail, brother. Fat Thor. Not a lot of Robin in Stranger Things Volume 2 trailer. Hopefully this means she gets iced early. R.I.P. Rob Reiner. His filmography from 84 to 92 is a legendary run. It really is. It really is. Yeah, Ryan mentioned that, and like it certainly makes sense that they are building her up to kill her. And we'll see the trailer in just a second. I need a beard. I mean girlfriend, says Blue-Eyed Scorpio. Oh. A band called Minneapolis Uranium Club does a song called Small Gray Man, which is about an alien. I think you dig it. And one of the lyrics is surfing with terrorists down Bondi Beach. Really? No. Crazy. 110% are right about addiction as a mental health disease. The comparison to OCD is spot on. Thank you. The road hypnosis. I mean, I didn't come up with it, but yeah, it's not. I think that's where people get hung up, and rightly so. Like, no judgment here. Like, when you hear disease, you think cancer, and you're like, fuck you. Addiction's not like cancer. No, it's not a disease in the sense of cancer. Not even close. Google and read Carl Jung's letter to Bill W. Oh, maybe I will. I'm from Sydney, just giving a shout out to all who perished and were killed in Bondi. May those who died be remembered in peace. Yes. Prayers. A 10-year-old girl, man. No justification for that. I don't care what one country did to some other country's people. If you are targeting people based on their religion or race for something another country may or may not be responsible for, I don't know enough about it to offer an informed opinion. I can tell you that the 10-year-old girl in Australia had nothing to fucking do with it. So you're a fucking piece of shit. Hope you're fucking dead. And burning in hell. Oh, and then they thwarted some free Palestine fucking terrorists from blowing up 4 spots in LA today. I'm in horrific pain, and the doctors are going to give me morphine for pain. It is so hard to function right now. Please send prayers. Ruben, it's okay. As long as you take it as, I'm sorry you're in pain, but do what the doctors tell you. I have fortunately not been in a position to, hope feeling better, Ruben. Prayers up. I have not been put in a position where I've needed to take pain meds because I probably wouldn't. That would be fun. I'm an alcoholic, 4 years sober, and everything Gary is saying is spot on and taught me in a meeting. You can't quit without a willingness and help, and it's always a part of you. It never goes away. Those demons are never slain. They are always in wait, waiting to upend your life, upend my life. Every second, every day, they don't fucking sleep. So that hunger analogy I gave you, so it's like going through, and in the beginning, it's like going through life like food, your sustenance will kill you. And that's the way it's programmed in your brain is I need this to function. Like I can't function without it. It's horrible. It's a horrible way to live. It's like being possessed. Let's check out a trailer, shall we? Let's check out a trailer. Oh, look, there's Jeremy Johns. See, Jeremy Johns gets to go see movies early. Jeremy Johns is real. Jeremy Johns is one of the good ones. I really enjoy his content. And he doesn't break down movies like I do, or like Mahler. Nobody does like Mahler, or even Drinker. But you get a sense of what he actually feels about the movie. Plus, he's a great presenter, charming, funny, all those things. And that's why people like the guy. And he broke away from that group, that early group of movie talk filled with, I boasted my ass for Star Wars, and he broke away a real one. So I can't give enough praise to Jeremy Johns. Met him once, really good dude, really nice, really nice. We met him at right when Chris was having a stroke. Fuck that day. Fuck that day. We were at CinemaCon. And I was like trying to really hold it together, okay? While Chris was in the hospital because we had to do a meetup, but I was completely stressed out, like worried about Chris. Worried to death. All right. Stranger Things Volume 2 trailer. We will get hit for that, but who gives a shit? You know what? We'll get hit, but I'll fight it and it'll be fine. Because Netflix, makes you fight it, but then they're usually cool. Warner Brothers, fuck them. I can't wait for them to sell now.
We failed. We never stood a chance.
Oh, we never stood a chance. Here we go. I got to turn this up a little bit so you guys can hear it. All right, here we go.
We failed. We never stood a chance.
This is not over. Not by a long shot.
This whole time, everything we have ever assumed about the Upside Down has been dead wrong.
Now, I am fine with them coming in with a little twist that we're finding out that everything we understand about the Upside Down is wrong. I'm like where this is going. I'm going to be positive about that because it's really been kind of not explained and kind of a nothing and not that exciting when you have a fucking base down there now. So that'll be interesting. I've also talked about, I hope Vecna isn't just the bad guy. I hope, it's great that they brought in Vecna and they made him the face of the Upside Down, but I'm hoping there's some kind of cosmic entity behind him that would make it, I don't know, more supernatural, more interesting than just, it was created. Throw a little bone to H.P. Lovecraft. I mean, they certainly, with the mind flayer, it certainly looked like they were.
Mother of God.
Help me find him. Kill him.
It's a big ball.
Showtime.
Murray. I like Murray. It's not that it's just a girl. It's this girl would be knocked over if the wind changed directions. The girl boss shit was there in part 1. It does ruin it in part 1. Part 1 is not very good at all. Yeah, I think a lot of people are hanging on because we like these characters. We've liked the journey of what they have gone through, but some of them have been completely stuck. Some of them have reverted, and Nancy is now the fucking Terminator. Like, come on.
God, I thought that was supposed to be the easy part.
It was. I don't know what's on the other side of any of this. If we want to stand a chance of surviving, we need to be a team.
It is time
It is time.
for a new world.
You die, I die.
You die, I die.
Come on!
I am whelmed. Looks all right. I certainly hope it picks up because the first 4 episodes were very long. And Mahler mentioned this, so I went back and did it. I watched them again after watching the final episode of season 4, and the jump is jarring. Like how it makes the metal plates over the cracks look that much more retarded. Like, what? So we'll see. We'll see. I hope it turns around and it's great because I really like season 4 a lot. I did. And season 1 is a masterpiece. But I don't think I mean, it's a huge event. The theaters sold out. This is going to be probably the last really cultural phenomenon show that we may ever get, that we almost have a shared experience with. Like, not exactly, because we're all watching it at different times, but this is as close as we're going to get to like a Game of Thrones type of thing, which is what's crazy is every streamer has been chasing Game of Thrones. Even Game of Thrones has been chasing Game of Thrones. And like, remember early days, all the streamers pretty much were dumping everything at once. I think CBS All Access was the only one, because Prime was dropping everything at once. So HBO was doing weekly because they were broadcast, and Paramount was doing weekly because they were connected to broadcast. But remember when Disney Plus was dropping stuff at they just did it. Dropping stuff at midnight and 2 a.m. That is like fucking stupid. So you can't just like drop everything all at once. You also have to drop it. You have to drop it weekly at a set time. And you can set up a time where it's like a decent time in America and a decent time in the UK or Europe. Not that you should ever consider Europe because America is the only one that matters. But, does House of the Dragon have a chance if they dumped it all at once? No. Not season 1. No, it was that buildup. It was at the same time that they aired Game of Thrones on Sunday, and it gave people that experience when that fucking theme. I was kind of against them reusing the theme, but when you hear the theme again, you're like, oh, you remember all the good times with Game of Thrones. Yeah, Tulsa King and Lamb Man. They both air at a certain time. Lamb Man's fucking great, by the way. No judgment, but somebody said like it's focusing too much on the women. I completely disagree. I think this season's great. I didn't see last night's episode, but I saw the episode before. It was fucking awesome, and it had one of my favorite little moments in TV, probably in the last decade. In an episode before that. Here, I'm gonna figure out what episode it was. I saw Dean. So I guess in the last episode they give shit to The View, which is fine. I haven't seen that, but there's a better little scene that some people might not notice. So Sam Elliott is playing Tommy, Billy Bob Thornton's dad. The thread this season is their mom, who was a coke addict and abusive, and his dad was abusive. Mom died. So it's forcing them to go get the family back together. They're not really sorry that mom died. Dad is sorry that mom died because he knew her before she was an addict, blah, blah, blah. So Tommy is with his son Cooper. Tommy is Billy Bob Thornton's character, and he's with his boy. And he's just driving in a car, and he's like, he's feeling all the weight of his past life and his dad's abuse. And he's like, turns to his kid and he goes, if you're going to raise so-and-so's son or have your own son someday, just remember that that's how good they're going to raise their son. And it's a cycle that's almost impossible to break. Right. So he's essentially saying to his son, like, don't raise your son like I did, because he just saw him on weekends. And his son turns around to him, and I'm not doing the scene justice. You have to see it. His son turns around and looks at him and goes, you broke the cycle. And Tommy's like, no, I didn't. I avoided it. I just visited you on weekends. And his son just looks at him and goes, I love you, Dad. You did the best you could, and that's enough for me. And it's like you get this little nice father-son moment where there is a less than perfect father and a son that goes, I don't care, you're still my dad and I love you. How fucking, how little you see that in Hollywood? Like you never, ever, ever fucking see that. It's such a good fucking scene. So well done on that one. Stranger Things, I was not moved or unmoved by that trailer. But there was not a lot of Robin in it. Good point. There was not a lot of Robin in that. Jesus, I want something. You know what? The trailers that are coming out this month are more exciting than the actual stuff that's coming out this month. I think the only movie I'm kind of looking forward to is that Hugh Jackman Song Blue fucking Neil Diamond one. It looks pretty good. But I can't wait for Night of the Seven Kingdoms, man. Bring that on. Bring it on. Working on my top 5 ender. Working on my top 5 for the year. We've got our lists from other the FNT people. Well, some of them. I'm going to put them on blast. You want me to put them on blast? I got the list from some of my co-hosts on FNT. Some of them. Got one from Drinker. Got one from Drinker. Got one from Perry. So what we do is we gather about 10 people's basically like top 5 Hollywood disasters, which is it could be anything, really. It could be anything. It's a combination of movie, TV, but it has to be Hollywood specific. We got quite an eclectic list this year. We do. I put something on mine, which nobody else did, that would probably trigger some people. So it's not going to make the list. So I can tell you, it'll definitely be an honorable mention, which would be Peacemaker Season 2. It did make somebody else's list, I think. Peacemaker Season 2. But yeah, we're working on that. I'm going to start recording it today. And then I'm going to watch The Force Awakens. 10-year anniversary is coming up on Thursday. 10 years. Bottom 11. I don't think Superman's going to make it to 11. Guy, Wicked farting out really fucked it up. Fucking come on, girls and gays. Get your ass to Wicked right now. Go see it in the theater. See it twice. Start a sing-along. We need to get Superman to the 11th highest grossing film of the year. If you know, you know. Yeah, it's been 10 years since The Force Awakens. The beginning and the end. Really. It's been 10 years since Star Wars died. Wicked is gay, but I'm counting on my gays and the women out there to go and see it in great numbers. So we can, the reason we talk about that, we did a real BBC where we looked at, who was it? X-Ray Girl. Do you remember what site? Because they wanted to put Superman on the list, they did the top 11 movies of the year. Top 11. It's like, what? So it's because they did that. We want to see it be the 11th. The 11th. But let's get to you. Let's get to you guys. Let's get to you guys. I'm so much happier now that I'm using Brave. So Fallout is releasing a day early. I wonder why. You know what? They don't want to compete with the Queen of Coal. That's my guess. You know what? They're a little intimidated by the Queen of Coal.
It was Culture Crave, top 11.
It was Culture Crave, top 11. Yeah. So Daniel RPK is reporting that Chris Evans will be the main character of Doomsday and will be prominent in this trailer. And I can't say I've heard that. I cannot say I've heard that, but I wouldn't be surprised. I thought it was about Doomsday. I thought Dr. Doom was the main character, but he's in that trailer like a lot. In that first one, it's all about him. It's all about him. Okay, so this is the live stuff. Okay, here we go. Why can't WB copy and paste from the animated shows? That's a good question. Moral Mike, I don't know. I have no fucking idea why they can't just use the template of Batman, the animated series, Justice League, and Justice League Unlimited. It'd be really simple. Probably Do you think James Gunn's watched any of those? He's probably watched Batman the Animated Series. But do you think he's watched all of Justice League Unlimited? I don't think so. Women are allowed to be police. Just put the application forms on the top shelf in a pickle jar next to the spider web, says Tommy Force. WB Animated is a shadow of its past. It is, and it's not going to get much better. Thank you for becoming a member. Jiggy Doss, appreciate it. Matthew Hammond, did it start when politicians pushed safety in the 90s? Yes. This has been going on for a long time. Cap was selfish going back to Peggy, hashtag Team Doom. He was. That was so out of character and fucking stupid. Love you, Vato. You too, Paulie. Hail, brother. I'm interested in seeing stories about heroes, but they don't make superhero movies about heroes anymore. That's my point. That's been my point. We don't have any strong, masculine, in-command heroes. And if you don't have them, none of the other stuff works. You can have irreverent heroes. You can have a Peacemaker. You can do the Guardians of the Galaxy. But you know why the Guardians of the Galaxy worked? Because you had already established Iron Man, Hulk, Thor. You already established a foundation. That's why that worked. But that can't become the thing. Like Deadpool works as a parody because of everything that was built up before. If your entire universe becomes Deadpool, then it becomes noise and shit. You have to progress towards things. You have to build a foundation. And the foundation has to be heroism. Usually, you introduce the hero. The hero succeeds against the bad guy. Then hero falls. And then we do that, that's, and it's like, they don't want to do this now because, well, everybody's done it. Well, that's the reason everybody's done it is because that's what's fucking worked. But okay. Let's see. DCU, MCU. How did the MCU start? The MCU started with Iron Man, Hulk, Iron Man again, Thor, Captain America. How's the DCU started? Well, Creature Commandos, Superman, Peacemaker, Supergirl. Let's compare those two lineups. I mean, you got to be kidding me. It's a choice, just not a good one. The continued success of anime, like My Hero Academia, is 100% proof that superhero fatigue is not real. It's just Western, poorly written superhero fatigue. To quote Metallica, it's sad but true. That's one title, right? That's one title that's basically taking Western superheroes and done them right. It's also international. But the whole point of superhero fatigue is it is real because of the bad movies. There will no longer be fatigue if we get consistent good movies. And one good movie once in a while does not help. Deadpool and Wolverine did not help. Spider-Man No Way Home did not help. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 did not help. And the sign of fatigue is these opening weekends that just get lower and lower and lower. So you can't have one without the other. If you make good movies, people will go. It's pretty simple, but they're not making good movies. And I don't think they're capable of you could make something super. I think, no, I know Hollywood has a big problem with the hero part. Gary, no, this is Captain Greach. Mexi Rage. Love hearing read the comic, even though it is shit. Did you see Iron Lung is going to be in over 2,000 theaters? No distributor or studio taking control. Do you think independent movies will become more popular if this movie is a hit? If I know little about it, but if it is an independent movie and it is a hit in 2,000 theaters, more people will follow. and try, and more theaters will take a chance. Yes, that is good. The scene where Odin strips Thor of his power is one of the best scenes in the whole MCU. Word, absolutely. Now Thor cracks jokes as Asgardian kids are kidnapped. Yep. God damn. That is such a good scene. Actually, Gary, the question I asked you the other day pertains to WB screwing up with Christopher Reeves and Helen Slater movies. I can't remember what that question was. But Warner Brothers has been like, the reason I call them the dumbest company in Hollywood is because they've been dumb for a long fucking time. Like a long time. They bought this thing called DC Comics and really didn't know what they had for a long time and didn't care. But the Supergirl Helen Slater movie is not good. She looks great in the costume, but it's not a good movie. My friends are huge Hunger Games fans, both movies and books. But are they any good? It's not made for me, Andrew McCarty. It is not like, yeah, it's not made for me, but I think they're pretty good. I didn't like the ending. I thought the ending kind of sucked. But the build up and the world building kind of and like it's ripped off from a lot of things, but I really like the movie's portrayal of Hollywood and the entertainment industry. I think it's really accurate to what it is now. But, you know, after, and maybe it's because I had just got done watching Twilight, Andrew, and then I went to Hunger Games. I'm like, thank God, this has got, you know, actors in it that I like and good performances. So something that's not made for me that I could say, yeah, it's pretty good. I can understand why people like them. Couldn't get into grounded live action Witchblade. Anime version changed my mind for some reason. I think it's the wardrobe. Yeah, that live action Witchblade where she just had a fucking glove. Those are the days. No, anime is perfect for Witchblade. Perfect. Just read what happened to Rob Reiner. That's so fucked. Yeah, Matt. It's got his throat slit by his son. Ugh. Still bothers me how bad the writing is in oh God, what is this thing? I know I'm supposed to know. Oh, no. What is FATWS, chat? Jennifer Lawrence was the first
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Falcon and the Winter Soldier was fucking horrible. It's some of the most hateful writing of that era. It really is quintessential fucking woke era. There's two shows that are just hateful. It's Falcon and Winter Soldier and Watchmen. They're just fucking hateful pieces of fucking woke trash. She-Hulk is hateful towards the fans in a silly way. Watchmen, there's nothing funny about like how hateful Watchmen is. Like you can hear the hate and the disdain for everything on the right, everything on the center, every white person. Yeah. And then they reworked actual historical events to turn them into villain stories, which is a choice. But my favorite part, there's a lot of favorite parts in Watchmen, is during the Tulsa Massacre, a World War I veteran is escaping with his family, a black World War I veteran. And as he's escaping with his family, it's him, his wife, and a newborn baby. The World War I veteran hands the gun to his wife while he holds the baby. And she leads. It might seem like something little, but it is fucking ridiculous. Yeah, Damon Lindelof. Lindelof sucks. That might have been one of the best firings Kathleen Kennedy ever did, was getting rid of fucking Damon Lindelof. But nothing sums up modern entertainment than a World War I veteran handing his gun to his wife to protect them as he holds the baby. Get the fuck out of here. Steve Rogers is Captain America. Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Sam Wilson is the Falcon. And Miles Morales is Miles Morales. You are correct, Bearded Bold Bear. Your book arrived and is wrapped under the tree. Wife got it for her birthday in July. I have to wait to Xmas morning. Same gift, 2 occasions. Clever. There you go, Ryan. Very clever. Thank you, Ryan Crawford. Appreciate you. Wild Blue Yonder was Spider-Man's sidekick. Not official. Oh, God, when did they do that? That was after my days for sure. Oh, Wild Blue Yonder is a fucking terrible character, too. When did that come out? God, I've slept so much since then. Rob Reiner, forgotten. So, I've slept since then. Got 1 episode left of Terminal List, season 1. Great show. Great show. Great show. Absolutely brilliant show. You guys are just hating. You and Drinker are El Griftors. El Griftors. El Griftoros. Yes, because we secretly like all this stuff. So the argument with grifting is either you aren't really into it or you secretly like it. It's one of those two to be a grifter. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that there isn't people who aren't really into this shit who talk about it. That's YouTube, baby. But yeah, I don't care. You know what? When I see something I like, I'll tell you I like it, and not everybody agrees, and I don't need them to. It's okay. And you can disagree with me, and it's just fine. We can still be pals. It's a movie. But as far as like us being bad for the space, what space? Whose space? Who established this space? The space. What is the movie talk space? Is it like what sphere are we speaking of? Who established the space? Who's the fucking mayor? Who established the rules? Like, there is no space. It's all fucking YouTube. And as far as us, you know what? Who ruined the Hollywood space? Hollywood fucking ruined it. I didn't ruin it. Az didn't ruin it. Drinker didn't ruin it. Hollywood did. As I said in my video, if even half, you could apply this to Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who, everything we've covered extensively, even Rings of Power. I'm going to be nice about that because I don't personally feel this way, but I'm going to just say this is a general statement. If even half of that shit was mediocre to decent, none of us would be arguing right now. There wouldn't be a fucking problem. So outside of Andor in Star Wars, what's mediocre to okay? Maybe Skeleton Crew? Didn't watch it, so I don't know. Season 1, season 2 of Mandalorian. Disney Star Wars. Specifically Disney Star Wars, not Star Wars. So yeah, Andor. And this is not about like what I like or dislike, but this is just, I think, general consensus. So it's Andor, number 1, as far as people liking it. Rogue One, Mandalorian, season 1 and 2. I guess you could throw The Force Awakens in there, but like, doesn't everything that comes after affect The Force Awakens? We can't like just talk about a period of time. We're talking about now. What is accepted now as mediocre to okay Star Wars live action? I'm not counting any animation shit. Yeah, so it's got to be Andor number 1, Rogue One, Mandalorian season 1 and 2. Skeleton Crew, but like nobody watched it. But for the people who watched it, you'd have to let me know. That's not a lot of success, considering there's 4 more movies in there. There's multiple TV shows. It's been over a decade. And I know some people will call Andor great and as good as original Star Wars. I will vehemently disagree with you on that for a lot of reasons. I think half the show is pretty great, and the other half is pretty Disney. Is pretty Disney. Is a lot Disney. A lot Disney. But the point is, okay, let's go back and look at Disney plus Marvel series. Chat, this is anecdotal. What is a decent show? Like, it's fine. Can we even get to it's fine? For me, it would be the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special, Werewolf by Night. The best thing that was on it was X-Men 97, but that's animated. We're talking about live action. So the best thing is an animated show. But we can't count WandaVision, because WandaVision did start out like interesting and intriguing and then turned to shit. So Werewolf by Night was fine. Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special was fine. What live action TV show was fine? None of them. Loki was the most popular, where you had a copy of Loki play second fiddle to female Loki in his own show. They completely destroyed any earnestness of Marvel lore. One example, the Infinity Stones are a fucking paperweight. They bring in a new bad whose acting is fucking terrible, and Loki is bisexual. And season 2 is arguably worse because they fuck up. Daredevil season 3 had potential, but it ended like shit. Moon Knight is, I think, Moon Knight and Daredevil are the most squandered opportunities. You had fucking layups with those characters, absolute layups. And they decided to adapt the later stage Moon Knight, where he's got multiple personalities, so they can make him a victim. And it's retarded. It's utterly retarded. I hate that. I hated it in the comics, and I hated it in the show. They had a good actor who could play him. The costume looked pretty good. Here it is. I got to say, props on the costume. It's got great lore. You could have essentially had like a semi-supernatural Marvel Batman. Instead, it's like, oh, let's give him multiple personality disorder, because the Gen Zs, they really love being victims and they really love self-diagnosing with things. So the kids will love it. It's like, fuck off. So Disney Plus, you're struggling to think of one show that's fine. You are. But, hey, listen, maybe there's a couple people out there who think a couple of shows are fine. Are any of them bangers? No. So we go to Star Trek. Picard season 3, 7 out of 10. Think it's really good. Everything else is 0 out of 10. Some of the worst shit I've ever fucking seen. But there's a lot of people who don't like Picard season 3, which is fine. But most of it is shit. Doctor Who, since Jodie showed up, are there any mediocre episodes? No. They're all fucking trash. So that's the state of things. If even half of this shit was decent, we wouldn't be having these arguments, but it's not. And that's why it's all falling apart. And that's why the white boy is back. That's why the real Captain America, the only Captain America, Steve Rogers, is back. Robert Downey Jr. will return as Iron Man in Secret Wars. I promise you. I don't think I'm breaking any news to anybody there. He will be back as Iron Man in some form or another. And don't think that Disney's not going to remake the original trilogy. They're going to have to all cycle through this. Yeah, I got to work on my eulogy for the Star Trek thing. Yamada says, please review my comic collection. I have sent pics in reply of your latest tweet. Steve Rogers is Captain America. Suggest what else I can add. I'll take a quick peek. But that's not something you just can that would require a lot of thought. And I wouldn't want to steer you the wrong way. Here we go. Let's see if I see it. Oh, there's a lot of replies. Can you please review from my collection here? What we got here? As far as a review, what? That looks good. Absolute Justice, Justice, Kingdom Come, Alex Ross, Cosmic Odyssey, Identity Crisis. I kind of liked Identity Crisis. Fourth World, fucking great. Yeah, everything looks good here. Harley Quinn, I'd skip that. Superman in Exile Omnibus, good stuff. For All Seasons, one of my favorite Superman stories of all time. Yeah, you're good. You're good. I would just like, if you want to read something last, I would skip Harley Quinn. It's not grift to criticize DEI. It is not. It is not. It is not. But you know what? They throw that term out there, and a lot of times it's projection. It is a grift to say you like a movie when you don't, or to be a little more positive. Now, if you want to celebrate film, then don't get into the critique business. Celebrate film. Go make fully edited documentaries about films you love. There is definitely a space for that on YouTube. And yeah, just do that. Gary should have quoted Bill Clinton for his clarification. It depends on what the meaning of is. Everyone is dumber and gayer now. Thanks, Gary. You're welcome, Eric. You're welcome. Jesus Davila has gifted one Nerdrotic Live membership. Thank you very much. I got shills. They're multiplying. The danger room, probably. And the truth shall cost you $5 a month. Danger room, 832. Yes. It's comedy gold. I'm going to make clips for tomorrow. But yeah, I'm like I counterpunch on that. So when they come out and just say our sphere is about and I don't doubt they think this, like, at all, that like we hate this stuff. We hate what's happened to our stuff. And we're not the only ones. There's a lot of people in Hollywood who hate it too. But, you know, if you want to suck up to Daddy Corpo, that's your prerogative. Good luck. Maybe you'll get a crumb of pussy or dick, whatever you prefer. Can you get a crumb of dick? I don't know. That's terrible. I don't want to think about it anymore. Kate Lethbridge Stewart's boy toy was killed off. Oh, no. Oh, no. What will we do? Poor Kate Lethbridge Stewart. She'll probably fall in love with a woman after that. Not just for rent cheap. Yes. Not just for rent cheap. Gary, I'm not sure about Sadie Sink playing Jean Grey in Brand New Day. Is she a villain controlling Hulk and Frank Castle? It doesn't make sense. Well, I mean, she's in it. Whether it makes sense, that is up to the writers, Super Fran Man. But I don't know if she's, what I was originally told is there's somebody manipulating Hulk and Frank Castle. The second conversation I had did not mention Frank Castle. Not saying she isn't controlling him, but she is what's behind the Savage Hulk. Now, is she a villain or misunderstood? Which, I mean, she's Jean Grey, so she shouldn't be a villain. And I don't hate the casting. I think Jean Grey should be younger. I don't hate the casting. I mean, for fuck's sake, she's a ginger. They cast a ginger. I know the bar is low, but they cast a ginger as Jean Grey, which means Professor X is, I agree with Flash, is probably going to be black. As black as Snape. But as far as it making sense, I can't make it make sense. I have a lot of questions as well. English Batcher has gifted 5 Nerdrotic Live memberships. Thank you very much. Thank you. Splice Stream for $2. Why didn't they name Miles Morales Lightning Bug? Easy. Why didn't they give him a superhero name? Why? Because he was created not out of an inspiration. It was a way to get around rights. It was this is our backup Spider-Man if we lose the rights to Peter Parker. But they have a bunch of backup. I mean, they could just bring out Ben Reilly. But it was a DEI decision. Looking forward to the reviews of the new pro-communist Animal Farm film. I don't know if Orwell would be more horrified or impressed. Arg, another name? Yeah. It's going to have to get in line. I got a lot of stuff to cover all of a sudden. After nothing, it's like, oh, everything comes in 1 week. Great. Gary, what are your thoughts on Spider-Man 2099? I love Spider-Man 2099. I think I actually, the comics are fun, but the 2 video games they made with Spider-Man 2099 are great. But like the character quite a bit. I've got one. Hang on. It's one of the better 1/6 scales. Right here. From the Vidya game. My niece destroyed herself and child after decades of family trying to help. Addiction is definitely a mental illness, but you are right. There is a choice to be made. Thank you for pointing that out. You're welcome. Yeah, I think it's, much smarter people than me who discuss this, and it's a way to explain it to the addict, right? It doesn't make it any less true, but it helps you get your brain around it because it's once you get to the point where you're like, well, it's really, I mean, you're addicted to a drug, yes, but it's way more than that. It's a disease. It's also coupled with abuse. There's so much that goes into it. It's a very complicated thing, like humans. Rainer said that Kirk got what he deserved. Fuck him. He didn't say that. Unless he said it later, but he's on an interview with Piers where he says it's horrible. So I don't know if he maybe he talked out of both sides of his mouth. I'm not sure. I haven't seen every interview. So, but not the interview that I saw. Not the interview that I saw. After nearly dying from alcohol-related issues, my brother was sober for 20 months. I just found out that he started drinking again. Addiction sucks. Oh, I'm sorry, Max. Well, let's get him into meetings. Hail, Mags. Prayers. Plot twist, the Upside Down is just Australia. Arg another name. Maybe. It would explain Shad. Lots of talk about girl bossing. Is Rebecca Gold a girl boss? Have you seen it? I sent you the link. She is not a girl boss. Potential, but not a girl boss. Hail, Ian. Thanks, brother. I'm in Australia writing a song about it to cope. That's a very good exercise. That's a very good therapeutic exercise. Michael David, good luck. I watched Stranger Things season 1 all in one night in 2020 and loved it so much that I never watched the other seasons. Good man. Good man. Why does X-Ray hate me? She skipped my last 2 member messages on the Nooner. Anyway, 55 next week. Trying to catch you, Gary. Well, you eventually will. My Dixie wrecked. It wasn't X-Ray Girl. It was probably me. Pull up that Avengers Zoom meeting if you got time. Net Stealer. Which one? The one from the election? Let's see. Why can I not find it now? Unfortunately, I do not have time, but maybe X-Ray Girl can find it. I forgot TFA came out on my birthday. That's 2 disasters released on December 18th. Says Terry Masters for $4.99. Aw, happy birthday coming up, Terry. Gary Hale, FedEx says your book was delivered on the 10th, but I have searched the property and asked neighbors look like I will have to buy another. You didn't get it? So it says it delivered at your house. Hit up FedEx and let me know. Hit up FedEx and let me know. That sucks. Feminism fatigue. Feminism fatigue. 100%. says Nick Tomato. Yes, it's feminism fatigue, intersectional feminism fatigue, woke fatigue, slut fatigue, all the fatigues. Sisu 2 review when I see it. Been still catching up from my travels, but I should be able to see it next weekend. I can't wait to see it. Have you ever read the Red Rising books? They feel like Star Wars type of epic that I've been wanting to see in live action. I have been sent those books, Chris Yanko, and I haven't had time because I've been writing my own. Still haven't heard anything back about the book Decipher. It was supposed to be there last week. The book Decipher. We got that book. I think we got it. 2% right. We got it. Thank you. Flat out hate everything, man. She-Hulk literally encouraged young men to off themselves just to for being born men, literally, says Nick Tomato. Yeah, it's like, come on, fans. Why didn't you like She-Hulk? Why didn't you like Ahsoka? Don't you enjoy watching women stare at each other for long periods of time while folding their arms? Don't you enjoy watching the sequel of an animated series the vast majority of Star Wars fans didn't see? Didn't you love Fat Admiral Thrawn? Nick Tomato, thank you very much. Cesar Bessaria clearly argued why an armed citizenry was needed in the 1764 essay on crimes and punishment, which Washington and others had read. More people should, says Blind O. Hail, Gary. JC, do you think people would be into a live action series of The Shadow if it was steeped in noir, more of mystery thriller than action? Yes. I don't know why somebody hasn't tried it, but I think we know why. I would fucking love to cover a weekly Shadow series done correctly, steeped in noir. Bring back pulp. Sign me up. Your signed book has arrived. 70 years sober this coming August. Congrats. So grateful. Thanks, buddy. Rook takes Rook. Thank you. Glad you got the book. I'm concerned about somebody not getting their book, but yeah, keep me updated on that. Literally telling young men and women that all men are evil and all women are good. In She-Hulk, they literally teaching young men to off themselves because they are men, says Nick Tomato. Again. Someone I was arguing with regarding the term grifter said, you guys aren't classic grifters. You're media grifters. So we're not, well, yeah, because a classical grifter is actually, it's something that functions in real life. You're media grifters. I looked up the definition. It sounds like sarcastic terrorism for media. Here. Is there a definition for media grifters? Let's take a look. Well, I'd have to go to here. Let's go here. That would just be the media, to be honest with you. Okay. Here we go. A media grifter is a person who uses sensational, often false, or misleading information in media, especially social media, influencer spaces, I hate the word influence, for financial or personal gain by exploiting outrage as a bias to get clicks, views, donations, or power, rather than genuinely informing or advancing a cause. They sell outrage as a product, prioritizing attention and profit over truth, often by provoking strong emotional reactions or catering to a specific partisan anger, notes thedailycollagen.com. Always consider the source. Always consider the source. I remember when the MCU wasn't true. Remember? It didn't happen. We're seeing things. You're absolutely crazy. I made a video 2.5 years ago breaking down and this was only in phase 4, I believe, breaking down the characters they introduced, major characters, not side characters, major characters, villains and heroes. And it was very close to being 3 women to 1 man. No specific, a race or anything. It was just 3 women to 1 male character. It ended up being like 2.5. It averaged out to 2.5. But it wasn't real, guys. It wasn't. It was so not real. They completely course corrected and brought back Captain America. Star Wars was completely healthy. Everything was fine. Literally, off yourself if you're born a man. That's She-Hulk. No one is talking about it. I talked about it a lot. She-Hulk was probably the worst of the worst. But an argument can be made for Secret Invasion as well. What happens in Spider-Man after issue 550? I remember you recommending reading anything Spider-Man until that issue. Well, I think you're fine until oh my God, hang on. Let me get the exact number. Amazing. So it'd be actually 545. So what happens after 545, Big T, is one more day. One more day killed Spider-Man. That's when they broke up Peter and Mary Jane with a deal with Mephisto to save Aunt May after Back in Black, which was such a good fucking story. And then it leads into this nightmare, and it's all from Straczynski. So I'd recommend Back in Black, but what happens after it like undoes like how because Back in Black is fucking cool. Like you get one of your best Spider-Man moments in Back in Black, where Aunt May is shot. Peter susses out that it was Kingpin. Kingpin's in prison. And the best part about, Superman and Spider-Man in particular is they are good people, which means they do hold back often. But that makes like when they lose their cool and get pissed, it makes it count so much more. So Peter gets fucking pissed and breaks into a prison and beats the snot out of Kingpin. And I'm paraphrasing there, but gets in his face and goes, I can do this whenever I want. I can end you whenever I want. And you better fucking pray my aunt is still alive. And he just fucking goes baller in there. It's fucking great. That was a fucking cool moment. And then they followed it up with one more day. So yeah, my collection goes up to right now it just goes up to 500. So I don't even have anything after 500. I have a full run of Basic Spider-Man, AF-15, all variants and everything up to 500. All the modern books. I mean, I still have them, but I don't consider them in my collection, and I will be offing them whenever I get to San Francisco to get the rest of my collection. They will be gone. They will be gone. But yeah, I'm pretty much I'm going to keep some of my full runs, but they're only going to go to like maybe Fantastic Four will go just to 500. Daredevil I'm going to keep more of. I could certainly live without the Mark Waid run. X-Men. With X-Men, I only have it pretty much through it'll be through the 90s. Where was I? Where was I? What up, Grizzy? What up, Gary? How is Voss's closet? I should have just gone to your video because I wasn't prepared to by the way, Grizzy's the one who found it. So right there. That's the guy who found Voss's closet. But I'll clip it up and have a more coherent thing for tomorrow that we can go over because I know he's got a great video going over it. So go check it out on Mr. Grizzy's channel. But yeah, he later they really go into very generally us, and then at the very end, like Eric Voss says, I reject that I'm a shill. Except it's so fucking funny. It's comedy gold. But if you have to make an entire podcast saying you're not a shill, you might be a shill, right? Did I hear you say in your live stream that like he's straight? Like you were joking, right? Eric Voss. Merry Christmas, Gary. Looking forward to a new year. May the fruits of your labor return tenfold. Well, wow, that's very kind. Thank you. Right back at you. Gary, it's not Harley Quinn Omni. It's Gotham City Sirens Omni by Paul Dini. Just renamed it. Is my Batman collection fine? Yeah, it's fine. Things to add? Again, that would take me time to consider. But I'll think about it. Thank you. I didn't see anything missing that was impaired. Do you have you want to get Batman Cult? I don't know if that was it within one of the omnibuses, but like, yeah. I was thrown off that they renamed the Gotham City Sirens. Of course they would rename it Harlequin. Paul Dini's great writer. Disney Plus shows in general suck, not just Marvel and Star Wars. That's a good point, Doge. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Is it me or does the critical drinker sound like sober Jack Sparrow? Yeah, but I mean, yeah, maybe a Scottish one. Acts like it too. Hello, Gary. Did you hear Arrow is re-releasing Excalibur on 4K? Oh no, Big Raj. Holy shit. Really? Hang on. Got to go to Arrow right now. Arrow video. I've been waiting for a 4K Excalibur forever. I just got my Dark City. I just got my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Holy shit. Can't wait to watch that with the kid. No shit. Okay, that's great news. That is fucking great news. Thanks, man. Gary, do you remember covering an article on FNT with the headline Ratings Terrorism? Oh my God. I about died laughter. Was that article about the Acolyte? God, I want to say yes. I'd have to look back. Oh, good times. It was Star Wars related for sure. Watch Team America on YouTube. Shocked me. It was 0 edits. Really? Snacks. Wow. They got away with one. Paramount usually doesn't like that. Figured I'd put the word out. YouTube just made me do an age verification check to watch a Bearing video because the Bondi attack. YouTube is starting their censorship push. They must, because I don't think as horrific. It depends. Like if there's like horrible violence in it, I might understand it, but it's news. I don't think it should be. I think you should just be able to choose to watch it or not. Hail Bearing. Miss when you got multiple great superhero films a year. In 2008, we got both Iron Man and Dark Knight. And the Incredible Hulk. Yeah, we were eating good back then, Jake. Good times. I wonder if Voss is even his real last name. I got news for you. Yeah, go check out, subscribe to Mr. Grizzy, by the way. Good dude, good channel. I bet Duncan Egg Show will be better than House of the Dragon and be half the budget. You're awesome, Gary. Love the content. I don't think you'll be far off with that. There are some, these are minor questions, but they're, the way it's written, it's going to be difficult. And other people have pointed this out. This isn't my idea. It's going to be difficult to find ending points for episodes, but if they follow the comic, they should be good. Now, I personally prefer the graphic novel to the reading the book. I just think it works better as a graphic novel, which is rare. I almost never say that. But if you get the Hedge Knight, the Sworn Sword, it's hard for me to say that. The Sworn Sword and the Mystery Knight, they're all in graphic novel form. I think Mike S. Miller's art really lends itself well to George's work. I really dig it, the aesthetic that they use. For one, it's nothing like the show. So the one thing George has always pointed out is, and they really kind of should have done this in the show, if you think about it, because of the juxtaposition. The colors were always bright, right? And you have these, and it's supposed to look bright, and that color is supposed to hide the darkness below, the corruption below, if that makes any sense. So I really love that Mike S. Miller leans into that, and the colorist, of course. But yeah, it's good stuff. I just got my Mike S. Miller. I got a poster. I got a litho of Robert Baratheon. I just got sidetracked there. Yeah, I just got this. It's really fucking cool. It's great. Gary, Misfits Godzilla collab announced. What? I get sidetracked so easy. Hang on. Oh, it's a t-shirt. Oh, that's cool. I like it. I like it. All right. I have 51 copies of Amazing Spider-Man 700. I'm going to guess that's Amazing Spidey 700. Don't remember buying. Jose Taco, you okay, buddy? Oh, you have 51 copies of 700, of issue 700. 51? Were you drunk? Did you own a store? I mean, that's the only way I have, let's see. I might have a set. Hang on. I might have a 700 behind me. Hang on. Give me a moment. Where'd it go? Yeah, I just moved it. So, yeah, I probably have as many as you do, Jose Taco, but I owned a store and I had to get the 1 in 1,000 variant. But, yeah, here's a Spider-Man 700. Little story behind this variant cover is this was an idea that was completely ripped off by a local San Francisco artist. I know because he made me one of these, right? And he made me one of these back in 2005. So what it is if you can't see, it's supposed to be a collage, but what the artist did is he really cut out the newspaper comics and pieces of comics of Spider-Man to make this out of a bunch of little Spider-Mans. So this was actually ripped off. I got $10. Let's see. This is left over from my store, by the way. The same bag and board and everything. And I sold it as a set with Mark Waid's Daredevil and Spider-Man 7. So this is a relic from my store. Let's take a look. Big, thick comic. Oh, that's right. It's Sal Buscema. Spider Dreams. Yeah, it's had shit like this in it. Cover gallery. Not bad. That's kind of cool to have, the cover gallery. That's pretty cool. Letters. Do they still do letters? I haven't opened a Marvel comic in a long time, but yeah, this is a weird relic from my store. And it was just sitting behind me the other day. That's why I thought about it. That's weird. I don't know why you have 51. I don't know what you would get for them. $1 a piece. We'll get it. Is it okay? Net Stealer. Is it the old Avengers or is it the new one? Because if it's the old one, we could watch it in another stream because I got to get out of here in 5 minutes. Happy Hanukkah. Idea for you to watch the Pendragon cycle from Daily Wire to see who does fantasy shows better, big tech companies or independent companies. Happy Hanukkah. Maybe I will be covering. You never know. As an Orthodox Hasidic Jew, you don't see Hollywood making much movies with Jewish representation, and yet I don't care. I don't need any of it. I haven't heard any Hollywood Jew call out Bondi yet, but maybe I missed it. Maybe I missed it. Quelndar for 50. As I burst out laughing when I saw Nancy pop out of the van with her Rambo gear on. Hardest I've laughed in recent memory. Hail the Fellowship. Yeah, that was pretty silly. Jiggy Dose for 1473. Hail, Gary. I hope you're all right. It's my birthday today. I'm good. I'm really good. Currently doing my birthday stream, so we'll watch this later. Hey, happy birthday, by the way. Hail, chat and stream, also related to what you're saying. I'm a recovering addict from Coke and Xanax. Woo! So I get a lot of what you say. Peace and love. Right back at you. Happy birthday. Sam Draper, 98 for $3. Yo, Gary, I finally got my merch today and picked myself up a Schlurpo shirt. Oh, that's good. And the Nerdrotic shirt. Hope you all are good, man. You're the best. No, you're the best. I'm not the best because you're the best. Keep up the good fight. Thank you, brother. It's not superhero fatigue. It's woke fatigue. Everything Hollywood flops. There wasn't a superhero in years to be fatigued about. Soup was not super. He was sad boy. Thor, a girl. Yeah, no shit. No, the both are true. But it is certainly affecting the brand, right? So brand damage, superhero fatigue, whatever you want to call it. If they make a good movie, people will go. Like Spider-Man's going to make a lot of fucking money. I think Spider-Man's going to do really well. And I'm actually kind of looking forward to it. Not going to lie to you. I'm actually, of all the superhero movies, Spider-Man will make more than Supergirl and Superman combined. And I think a lot more. Az's wonky eyebrow. Your hat is wonkier than Az's eyebrow. Yeah, it's a little wonky. Let's get it straight again. There we go. It's a little wonky. Bob Odenkirk's normal trailer looks fun. I didn't see it. Sale is going on. I don't want to miss it. So please give me just a few minutes to my collection. Suggest what else I should have in my collection. Wait, you at a store right now? I gotta go in 1 minute. Thanks, man. Here. So you're looking for suggestions. If I can find it. I got a lot of responses now. It's down here somewhere. There it is. All right. So you're like, what are you missing? Okay. You got the Whatever Happened to the Man Tomorrow. George Perez. That's good. Absolute Justice, Identity Crisis, Dark Knight Returns. You're missing Batman Year 2. And I would do Fourth World by Kirby. You got John Byrne, but I get the Fourth World by Kirby, and I know there's an omnibus for that. Batman Cult. Definitely Year 2 for Batman. Like, you're missing Year 2. I like that as much as I like Year 1. As AI gets better, I find little resistance in myself to resist watching better and more accurate fan films of beloved franchises than lame and gay shit. Oh, nobody blames you. Got my copy of your book on Friday, flying to Japan next week, so I'll have this for some good reading for a long flight. Good luck, Red, and good luck in Japan. Show off the Barkley versus Godzilla comic, says Net Steeler. Oh my God, I remember that. Let's see. It's going for $139. Oh, shit. Does that really have a Dave Dorman cover? It does. That's awesome. Just making sure. Here we go. Yeah, so that's Charles Barkley versus Godzilla, and I'm pretty sure that's Dorman. Yeah, yep, Dorman. That's fucking awesome. Okay, we'll be back Thursday night for another stream. Excuse me, I'm stretching. I've got to get to work. I've got some videos to work on, but I'd like to let me know if I missed anything though. X-Ray Girl from got my comic book Friday.
You're good. Nothing missed.
Okay, good. Good. All right. Thank you, X-Ray Girl. Thanks to everybody. Oh, hearts and hell yeah. Prayers out to all of them. 10-year-old girl, man. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't blame anybody for looking for a little escapism today, okay? I'll be working on my videos, and you don't want to stick your head in the sand and stuff. But this is why escapism is important. It does, it actually does relieve anxiety and stress. As long as you don't do anything done, in moderation works. But I can tell you, a lot of shitty days for me were saved by reading a comic book or watching Star Trek, and just like I get turn my brain off a little bit during some horrific times. That's why we need escapism. That's why they don't want us to have escapism anymore. They don't want you to be comfortable. They want you to be filled with anxiety. Fuck that. Reject that. Reject that. So thanks, everybody. Again, thanks to the Nerdrotics. Thanks to everyone who left super chat and donation. You help keep the lights on. Appreciate you guys a lot. Thanks for all the shout outs for the book. And we will see you tomorrow on The Real BBC. Take it easy.